subscribe and hit that bell.
All right. Are we live?
We're live. Going live.
I think I'm on my let me look on my phone. It's not showing anything. Hey, can y'all see us? Let us know.
It says we are.
My phone's lagging. Oh yeah, there we are. Okay.
Oh, your internet.
Hey, I haven't done this in so long. I forgot how to use everything. I'm serious. Can you hear me good?
I hear you fine. I wondered if it's my internet again.
No, you're good.
When I come out here to the shed, you can hear me? Okay.
Oh yeah. No, it was me.
Phyllis said she can see us.
Thank you. Yeah, I forgot to hit live until about 10, 15 seconds into the intro.
That's what I told JR. I said, crap, I didn't even make a thumbnail for Sunday. I said, I can tell I ain't done this in a few weeks.
And see, it's showing like right now, usually it keeps up with how many people are in chat. And I'm showing 0, but I know that's a lie because I can see. There's Richard Jr. just come in, David, Billy. What's up, Billy? Man, I'm so glad, y'all. I know y'all probably get tired of us talking about the LBL trip and all that, but I'm so glad we made it, and I'm so glad the ones that got to come made it. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff we haven't even, probably talked about, and I'm gonna tell y'all, give y'all a little inside information. Misty's gonna kill me, but I mean, David, made these knives here. And somebody got some obsidian sent to him, and she's doing a really good job making things, but she's cutting herself all to pieces.
It's horrible. My hands are so sore. I don't know if anybody can see it or not, but probably not. But they're covered in cuts. I laid my foot open today, and I sent them a picture of my shoe all bloody. It was horrible. But I can't stop doing it. And I tried wearing gloves, and you can't do it with gloves. I can't.
Well, we got people. David said it's restricting likes and says I'm not subscribed. Spencer wasn't subscribed. That's why I went on and hey, y'all check. I don't know what's going on. It won't let it. Yeah. How do you fix that, Misty? Unsubscribe and redo it or what? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with it. It's like it's unsubscribing people. It's happening to us too. It's happening to a lot of people.
Look, I'm showing one person watching right now, and I can't keep up with. I know there's Anthony.
Heck, I know there's John, Billy, Rex, Anthony.
Yeah. And
Yoma Finn.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, thanks for joining. Greg's on the way. We hope the skinny pedal don't get stuck to the floorboard. But and this is unplanned. I mean, I'm not going to say we were bored or whatever, but hey, we miss talking to you guys.
Roger just got a wild hair out of nowhere. He's like, Spencer canceled on me. I'm calling him out. I don't care.
And look. Yeah, he did, y'all. We had a show planned for tonight. So I forget what to do. See, look, I forgot to highlight. Wanda come in here. It's kicking me off too.
Well, I don't think we can go out. If we do, I think it'll wind up resetting the whole link.
Yeah, maybe Greg can fix it.
Hey, Greg.
Are you ready? That was quick. He popped in here, and
Are you recording yet? Are we recording or live?
We're live.
We're live.
Well, we're sort of live.
We're having issues.
Well, I mean, so we're done on live right now.
Yeah, we just brought you in just without you fixing your beard or anything. Or...
Golly, that's what I'm talking about. Golly, dude, can't even get ready. I was gonna munch on some cake and ice cream. My baby girl had me say.
Hey,
is that ice cream?
Go ahead.
What is that?
Oh, doubt.
Ice cream and broccoli.
It was green. I saw it was green in there.
Broccoli. So how many we got in here with us?
It says 0, but we have at least 20. We're having. I mean, they can hear us. It's kicking some people out, and some people are not subscribed.
Don't know. It's messing up.
Well, all I got to do is jump out and hit that subscribe button. Won't cost them a dime.
I don't know what's going on. Let me see here. Let me shut mine off. And
That's what we was just
make
talking
sure.
about. It's unsubscribing people and everything.
Yeah, Spencer checked his, and he was unsubscribed from mine, and then went and started checking a few others like Beast TV, and he was unsubscribed. So yeah, sorry y'all. It's totally YouTube,
Yeah.
and with the crap that I've been
David
going through
said it
today,
won't let us subscribe.
it won't let
Spencer's
it
in
won't let you
here.
subscribe.
Spencer, do you want a link?
Is he in here?
What's he doing up this late?
I don't know.
He is.
If
Why
you
ain't he
want-
I'll
on here
send
with
him
us?
one.
all right.
I'll hold my cake and ice cream up and show you, Spencer. Look there.
Well, look, I watch. I look at my numbers, not every day, but you look at them 3 or 4 times a week, and they do drop. They'll drop 4 or 5 and come back.
Did you
3 or
see what he
4 and-
said, Roger?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I don't know if I can. I don't know. I'm not
Hold on.
not being able to work the chat. So let's see.
This one here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Site wide
Okay,
issue
good.
YouTube. And Jeff
Thank you.
Yarrington said it unsubscribed me too. And Billy, or not Billy, but David said that it wouldn't let him subscribe.
All right. Well,
Crazy.
yeah, I'm gonna say it right there. I mean, it's statewide issue with YouTube.
Okay, good. Thank you for that, because I was nervous. And the thing is, I haven't done a live in a month and a half. Probably
Yeah, the
with
internet's
being
been
sick and
crap.
the trip. And,
Yeah, it was rumored you got abducted by aliens. I don't know what everybody was talking about, cavity searches and all that, anal probes. I don't know.
well,
That's what I
look,
heard too.
You see all of these. You see all of these people in here, and it's showing one. I don't know who the one is, but
So let me see if I can get where I can see the chat.
Every one of you. They're all number one. So see, that's why it's only got one. I mean, we get the best people, so just one.
well,
Well, I mean,
thank y'all for coming in.
most of the people it counts with us anyway. Look there.
Did you send Spencer a link? Uh-oh.
I did.
Okay.
It's trying to. It's not come through all the way yet.
Well, y'all, I'm not going to talk about what happened today. They know. Once I get it figured out, I will. But with the stuff that happened to me today, I'm.
Yeah,
might be watching.
Me and Misty was a little bit dubious about coming on here with you.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
blame
were
you.
second choice. How about that?
I know.
Roger just Spencer
told you.
canceled on me, so we can do a show if y'all want to, but only if you want to, because we
I
didn't
told you
we
why.
didn't decide to be you first.
I told you why.
You know, well, let me explain this. Greg's been on 4, 5, 6 times, and probably in that 4, 5, 6 times, about 24 hours worth. Misty's been on 2 or 3 times, and Spencer's been on 0. So,
Hey, he's just like George Jones. No show.
No show, John. That's right. Possum.
The possum. I'm like
y'all-
Johnny Cash. I'm like Johnny Cash, brother. We'll be in that ring of fire together.
Spencer who? Billy.
Yeah, that's
Y'all,
right, Billy.
man,
Look at there.
He's,
Swan's
that's like
even down.
I know.
he's always giving Anthony crap, and I swear to God, I love Anthony so much. He is the sweetest freaking guy. Anthony, I love you. You are
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit of a dumbass, but that's what I love about you.
Hey, that's the one thing I got out of meeting everybody, and Billy said it, and people were shocked at how nobody was, everybody got along. I mean, I said that on that one show they mentioned it last night, or it was today, but I said it's better than Greg has said it's better than a family reunion because families fight. So
Oh, yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah, a lot of my family I don't like near as much as these folks.
And we had
I don't see him anywhere, so
it was a
should
blast. I'm telling you.
it should make a little.
I was worried to death about it because I'm not a people person. I mean, I am, but when I get around a lot of people, I get anxious. Like
Yeah,
I can't stand it. He ain't said nothing
What
back. So
did I tell you? I told y'all they
It
was
wasn't
like,
even like that because everybody there, their energy was just good. You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
like everybody was having such a good time. You never felt nothing weird.
we
I
didn't
didn't
have
want
to
to leave. I had a ball.
We didn't make fun of nobody, Misty.
Just
I
but
know.
no, that's
Yeah,
It was
but
so funny.
Spencer don't count.
I
Okay.
even tried to give him a hug and tell him I'm sorry, and he told me, "Don't you ever come up behind me and hug me like that again."
Hey,
I
Hey,
wish I
I'm-
got a picture of that.
y'all, this is weird. When
I tried
we
to
got
be
there,
nice.
when we rolled in, I'm so comfortable with these guys and gals here that I walked right up to I don't remember who was there, but Misty and JR were there, and I walked off and I got back to our spot where we were sitting up, and I told Heather, I said, I don't think I said hi. Misty, she probably was cussing me. I was like, I don't think I said hey to them, and went back and said, y'all, I'm sorry. It's like we're so familiar with each other that and I forgot the first time I was actually meeting. So
Well, I mean, it ain't like we don't talk every day all day long.
I know it.
Oh.
I know.
I got my phone service swapped over last weekend, and the woman went to transfer the data from my old phone to my new phone. And she's like, do you want to transfer all your text messages? I said, well, I probably don't have to do all of them. I said, well, what are we talking about? She said, well, I can do all of them that's on here, or I can do like a year, or I can do 6 months or 3 months. I said, look, lady, you probably better just do 3 months, or we're going to be here like a week.
Yeah.
And she looks, she goes, you got like 30-something thousand text messages in the last 30 days. Yeah,
Oh my God,
the numbers are slow.
that's crazy.
Mm.
Y'all
Oh,
keep
man.
talking. I'm gonna go open my back window. Look, I'm sweating. It's hot in here.
Yeah, it's
It's muggy
I'm-
here today.
start getting the air
I'm
conditioning.
let down you don't have a fan blowing that new haircut in the wind, getting the wind on the
I know. I
face.
wish y'all could see the color, like really see it, but I'm sure you can't. It is so pretty. It's like red and gray, and it's all different colors.
I don't understand how I've become the optimist of the group. I'm usually not that guy, but this group right here, I have to be the optimist because I'm always like, they're going, oh God, it's gonna be horrible. Oh, whatever we're doing. And Misty's like, she's
Yeah.
like terrified of her hair. And what I tell you before you got done, I said, it don't matter. You've got the bone structure. Misty could got a crew cut and she still look great. And then she comes out today. She's like been all worried about her haircut. And then she's like, oh, it's awesome. I'm like, I've been telling y'all, look here.
Well, listen to this. She
Hey,
was
I
worried
got a
about
good
hers.
hairstylist.
She was worried about hers. I'm never worried about mine. And Heather walked in. I got mine done today. She cut today, and she walked in. She said, "Somebody new cut your hair." I'm like, yeah. They skinned me. Look, it's not even over here. I'll just shave it all off.
You can't tell. It looks fine.
Is this a barber shop you're going to or a salon or what? Oh,
No, I used to love my old barber. He could cut it in like 2 minutes, and I was in and out perfect. But no, it's what is it? A super cuts or something like that. There's hardly any choices here. So,
yeah.
but yeah,
Me, I go get a haircut up here at the barber shop. We got a woman that used to own a salon in Michigan. She moved down here to Alabama, and I don't think we could run her off, threatening her with dynamite.
Yeah.
She loved it down here, and I was like, I'm proud. But now she's really great. But I'm finally, for the first time in years since I've grown this out, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth on a haircut because she lines my beard up and trims it up.
yeah.
I mean, look, I'm holding on. I got like a 6 head instead of a 5 head. Oh, my hair slid back and come down to the bottom. So, before I was having to pay the same price for a half a head of hair, but now look here.
You're getting your money's worth.
I'm getting more bang for the buck.
Well, it's like today. She's like, she was being quiet. You want me to do your eyebrows? I said, please.
Look, dude,
Everywhere.
yeah. I seen a dude on TV the other day or on video or something. He looked like he had 2 big caterpillars that big around, like laying right here. And I'm like, it looked like hawk wings coming out the side. Look, dude, you step outside, that's gonna whoop around and put your eyeball out.
That guy on was it the one, the band camp? What was it? American Pie.
Yeah,
The dad.
yeah.
But we get older, and I told you get the ear hair. Well, the ear hair, I know people probably don't want to hear this. It's different than anything on the body. Heather saw one day. She grabbed it and started to pull. I said, no. That's attached to the other side of the head. Do not pull the ear hair.
Dude, look, I don't know. Women don't have this, but men over 40 especially, I can trim my nostril hair. I'm not about to cut them like an inch up inside there, nothing. Blow over again, there's nothing. By lunch that day, I'll be walking around. It's like an octopus tentacle coming out, tickling the side of my nose. It's like, where did you come from? And you pull it out, and it's that long. I don't understand it.
Y'all, Spencer asked if I sent a link. Misty, where did you send it to?
I did to his text message.
Okay. He's probably looking at.
It may take a minute to go through on Jitterbug.
You
Probably.
click.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how quick Jitterbug is.
Hey, look at there. There's Mr. Groves.
Uh-huh.
What's going on? I'm y'all tomorrow night. I'll be on with Barton Nunley. I think 8 to 10, and I think we're gonna hit some high spots of a lot of different things. When I get to tell them, everybody's heard my stories. My original stuff that got me into this, and I think he's gonna go do it a little different. So, looking forward to that. I want to give a shout out. Okay, David Blaylock with the knives, Michael X, Billy with the walking sticks, people with the stickers and just the hugs or whatever. I want to thank everybody. One of my buddies, Joe De Hoyos, he has Beyond the Woodline. He made me this paracord bracelet and just gave it to me. So, he's a good guy, y'all. It's small channel, has really good guests. If y'all want to give him let me put a banner up. Tell him I sent you. He's one of those guys, no nonsense. And
I sent it to his email too.
Okay, but there's Joe's Beyond the Woodline. If y'all would give him a sub, I mean, we all try to support each other, and I was floored. I just commented on Facebook that was cool. It's Tennessee, colors, and he said, "Hey, what's your address?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So I was on his show one time. He's a good guy. So
Let me tell you what's out, Roger. Buddy of mine, Chief Police over here at the biggest, where our county seat is here in Winston County. Buddy of mine's Chief Police over there. He sent me a message this morning. He tried to call me, and I called him back, and then he sent me the message where I could see the picture. So he thought I needed to know, which I really did need to know. It's just I can't swing it right now. I'm being crippled up. Bear Creek Arsenal in North Carolina has got a special running. They got an AR. It's an AR-10, so in 308. Sasquatch edition.
No way.
Yes, sir. It's got Bigfoot on the sides of it.
How many you gonna get?
Man, hey, look, it was really reasonable. It was $600 something for AR-10.
Oh,
that's
seriously?
not bad at all.
No,
Is that it?
no.
No.
Well, they were a lot higher, but
Yeah, they were up pushing a grand or over.
I don't even know
One
if
time they were $1,200.
I don't even know if I can buy anymore.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm not gonna say anything about I'll fill everybody in later.
You realize Spencer was actually the only freaking smart one. We got that gum sabotaged. He knows his ass has had it, so we got put on him.
Yeah.
Screwed.
Go ahead, Misty. Go ahead and tell him why I said he wasn't on here tonight.
Where's he at? Is he in it? He's not. I don't see him anywhere. Go ahead. Y'all.
Roger, look, the reason Roger won't fess up, but the reason he finally decided to let Spencer come on was because of his wood splitting skills. He impressed him. And anybody that hasn't watched that yet, go back and watch Spencer Jameson in his half-drunken stupor splitting firewood with one hand, holding a mix drink. Didn't even spill none. But I told him, I said, what nobody caught on to, I don't think but me, was when he split that one piece of wood flawlessly, The axe continued down and hit the block of wood under it, and it dang near split that one. And then, oh my God, if he'd have split both of them in one swing, we'd never heard the end of it.
That would have been the Woodwalker's intro on loop for 10 plays.
Yeah, that would have been our red show would have been done. It would just been over Spencer busting that place of wood.
Hey, it was a nice Cadillacs, wasn't it?
Oh, look, that's one of them city folks' axes, and apparently it's pretty sharp.
I accused him of stealing it from like a Hilton hotel or something. He busted the glass.
He stole their fire axe.
Somebody's gonna be in trouble.
Yes.
I just want to know how many times it took him to actually get it busted. You know, Tinsley or one of them was back there recording for him, and she was like, "Do it again."
The poor babies, they probably been picking splinters for 2 days and got blisters on their fingers from setting firewood up and trying it over and over.
Put some steel-toed boots on, Daddy.
Oh man!
But that's all it needs is one, right?
Yeah.
Don't eat your leg again. You're already bleeding.
I mean, let's face it, y'all. Our whole bunch is accident prone. We're like if we use a fork, it needs a wine cork on the end of it so we don't poke ourselves in the eye.
Oh, hey, y'all remember?
Yeah,
just stupid stuff, y'all. Just stupid stuff. Like Crystals, they had the longest straws ever, and I ordered like a small drink one time, and this SOB put a large straw in it, and I shoved it up into my brain. Peyton was laughing like, "What in the world?"
Did y'all, Roger? Did you see where here a while back they was having like a recall on like the Yeti cups because they had that metal stainless steel straw and people was getting wounded? They'd fall over everything else.
That's that would be me. I mean, so like, okay, when we showed up at the camp at LBL, I haven't put a tent up in 25 years or better, and this was my sister's, and I was like, I know they're watching us. Somebody's filming. This is horrible. We finally got it figured out, but man, it was it got cold. And then JR showed and Billy, they showed me how to use the buddy heater, so it was productive for me to learn all that stuff. But
yeah,
I've got the scars. I used to tell my kids, guys,
it got cold.
I heard the pop. There he is.
Nah,
wait.
I never took him enough down the road. He'd have to show up.
That's why I was gonna say he couldn't let us show him up, us come on, and him not.
Oh, that is not true.
Thing about it, his first word when he kicked on there was a chuckle.
No.
Come on, yeah, he come on, and he done heard me call him out about how he canceled on Roger, so he
no, that's not true.
Well, Spencer, this is Swatch and Holler. Thank you for being on for your first time. And sorry we ain't got you on before, but I don't know why we haven't.
Oh, I know why, Roger. I know why.
I do too.
Hey,
I do too.
that's what I'm talking about. Roger, you should have kicked over into the mode Wendell was in. Tell us about yourself.
Hey, yeah.
Yourself.
I'm Roger with Swatch and Holler. What's your name? What do you do? And why are you here?
Yes.
That was cool.
I tell you, we should have gave him the daggum camera to go around and talk to everybody because there's certain people I was like, hey, do you care if I take a picture? I tried to ask everybody, and they, a couple of them was like, oh, no, I don't really, it ain't nothing, against you, but I don't really want my picture took. And Wendell's just going up, just videoing.
Wendell just walks up and shoves the camera in their face. Introduce yourself.
Hey,
yeah,
y'all,
he done good. He done way better than I did.
Yeah, I've got a hard hat. I've got a hard hat here in one of these bedrooms on the wall. I'm mounting the GoPro on top, and we're putting that on Wendell the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had to walk like
miles. That would be good.
Hey. We're gonna need it for Woodstock number 2. There's gonna be even more people. So
yeah, I mean, and I was afraid people would get tired of us talking about it, but a lot of people in chatter were there, and
I didn't even get to talk about it to anybody. My freaking internet was going crazy.
That's right.
So
that's right.
This is my first time, Roger.
I forgot about that.
Look, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm nominating Gary Spikes and Billy Schilling for crowd control.
They were definitely the unofficial hosts that just walked up and did it on their own. I can't believe that.
I tell you, if we didn't have the help we had, we couldn't have pulled it off like we did. Everybody that came together and helped out, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that. And, I was joking, not joking. We had so much food, and I was trying to give it away. I was like, "Does Gray need any more burger for the chili?" And they said, "No, he's good." And everything was fine. I had my good cooler, and but
Greg had 25 pounds of meat for the chili. It was okay.
I think
he had a 10-pound pot.
Yeah, I think we put about 15 pounds in it. I think it was 15 pounds of ground beef.
But y'all, the ones that didn't get to go, that's why I try to take pictures, and there's going to be some people watch some of the videos and like, well, that's dumb. But I wanted to kind of show the ride back to the cabin, and I wished I'd had it on the night before, but that's the way it happens. I mean, it's just.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I mean, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up and then get crushed. But it's down in the dumps as I've been this week because I missed everybody so bad. I'm not opposed to having one in the fall back up y'all's way somewhere up like Northeast Tennessee or North Carolina or something.
Quarterly.
At all.
Don't
We wasn't either. We couldn't find it.
Yeah.
We might could do something in the fall. The problem is the location, like what Misty was just saying. We looked all over. Y'all, everybody, we looked all over Tennessee and parts of North Carolina and North Georgia and North Alabama. We couldn't find a place that would be big enough. Well, the only places that we could find where they were like, okay, it's a private campground. It'll hold 80 people or 100 people. And that was like $500 for 2 days.
And you could have like 12 vehicles. Like there was a vehicle.
Yeah. We couldn't find anything. So if anybody that watches this, if you know somewhere in Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, Alabama, North Georgia, anything like that, if you know somewhere that can hold something with, I don't know, 120, 150 people, let us know. We're listening.
We ain't even got a big
backyard.
Somebody's just got a darn hayfield or something where we can get around the edge in the back off the road. I ain't opposed to that.
House, you got.
Wait a minute.
You got land.
Wait.
Come on, House.
Billy Schilling, how about you? I mean, like, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but like,
She is.
Yes, she is. I'm not, but I am.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot while we're live, but
No doubt.
Oh, David. Now, David said my house. Now, I'd be scared to death over in them woods, over in Coos Bay.
No doubt.
I would love to go.
I would go. I would definitely go.
Look, I'm going to go see David this fall.
no, Parker.
We're gonna have to video. Y'all gonna have to get me wanted to video me getting on the airplane because I'm gonna be like B.A. Baracus. I'm gonna have to be horizontal.
Yes, you been
Really
like
does hear what I said.
BA on the 18. Got to knock your ass out to get you up there.
Yeah,
B.A. Baracus. Yep.
everybody. I've had people ask me, say, why were you scared of flying? Well, look, I grew up poor. It's like, what's that got to do with it? I said, look, everything I've ever rode in or whatever, at any minute, you liable to have to get out and work on it. I don't know how I can get out and work on the airplane. Ain't happening.
Man, I'm scared of flying too. The last time I was on a plane, I was on a plane 13 times. And the last time I was on one, we had a lot of turbulence and it went sideways whenever we were landing. And man, it shook me up. I can't control it. I can't control it. I'm just terrified of it now.
I mean, look, the 13th time was an unlucky one. Next time you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, you can take my place and check it out on the 14th time and let me know how it goes.
Man, look, I knew David and Dee was awesome folks, but till we met them in person. I mean, look, I've talked to David over and over, video chat, but y'all, till you can meet them people in person and get one of them hugs from DD. I mean, David's all right, but DD's hugs is a lot better. And y'all, do you meet these people and get to hang out with them? I don't even have the words for how great of people we had up there. I just don't. So I'm gonna have to go see. I'm probably gonna be stuck with taking Wanda with me, but I don't know how to get out of that.
Let me say something there to Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. That comment that you just posted right there. I've been there. There have been people that I know that have been there, and that's not big enough for 200 and some people. But you're on to something about that spot. I'll say that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the meeting everybody and was fun, but there were some things that happened like right there in camp that kind of spooked everybody. But I know there people were moving around, but I didn't think animals would come up that close to us while we were while we were talking and
I thought Roger seen me urinate over. I didn't know where it was.
People at thermals.
Yeah. No, when he started off, it spooked some folks, and he didn't know what. I was like, "Oh, didn't make it right."
No, it was just, I don't know. I know people may get tired of us talking about it, but I'd go back tomorrow if I could.
Yes, sir. Heartbeat.
Yep.
And I'm not kidding y'all. I'd have to fight Abby if she couldn't go. She'd quit school tomorrow.
Roger.
Mm-hmm.
You did a short video about the things that you saw driving out of there one night. But I'm going to tell you, man, I don't think you elaborated enough on the detail and everything about what you went through. Because, I talked to you that night on the phone, and then the next day, everybody was coming up like, what did you see?
Yeah.
You did a video on it, but you just went through the basic details.
Right.
I think you need to take your time and walk everybody through. Well, have you thought about it more since you did that video? Have you had time to go back over it? Because you told everybody a lot of stuff. You were kind of, I don't want to say emotional or anything, but you were kind of shook up by what you saw. You need to go back over all that in more detail at some point.
Well, I thought about it every day. And what gets me the most, the first thing I could ID as far as knowing it was canine and it was very big and it was white and it had red, glowing eyes. The second thing, it shook me up because it was just, 5 to 10 minutes later after seeing this thing, and I couldn't ID it, but it was as big as any 500 or 600 or 700 pound, 600 or 700 pound hog. And all I could see was butt cheeks and no tail. and it looked like it was digging. And Heather, she got to see several sides of me she didn't know that week. And one of them was, if I'm focused on something, I can't talk because I'm taking everything in. And if y'all had been in the truck with me or Peyton, we know each other. If my dad back when he was around, if he'd have been in the truck, I'd have been 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and when we got stopped, he'd probably rolled the window down, and any of y'all would have known where to look. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get. It shocked me so bad. But the first one, and it's like, yeah, you're at a Bigfoot, not a convention, but a get together. But we are at the Land Between the Lakes around midnight,
Yeah.
And we take and you had said that other people had vocalizations and calls maybe around that same time.
Well, it was all around the same area. I think it was all right there around the state line. So let's say roughly within 2 or 3 miles of the same spot, you had people that recorded audio, we found a possible trackway. And it wasn't just you, it was another person that I don't want to name because I don't want to call them out. But there were at least 2 people that possibly had sightings. So, and everybody, y'all have to understand, we have to be careful with that. You don't want to say that, like, yeah, they definitely had a sighting or whatnot. It was a possible sighting. It was a possible trackway. It was possible vocalizations. I mean, we got to go through all that kind of stuff. Hey, did you see what Martin Groves put up there, Roger, where he said we got pics of the beast at the bathroom in the trees. I heard all of y'all had contact with the beast walking around the tents by the bathroom.
Hey,
We heard some stuff. I mean, I think there were quite a few people that were looking over that way because we heard stuff and we looked with thermals and everything. I don't know. I'd be interested in seeing the pictures. And then he said we called them in with the shofar. I didn't know that anybody had a shofar out there.
I think he's talking about another time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I would hope that anybody with a shofar wouldn't be using it around camp. I've done witnessed. I've been too many places with Coonbo and him blow that shofar. The only time I want to be around a shofar is if I'm really, really like standing next to a vehicle, either sitting in, because I've done seen it make them irate. No, I wouldn't want anybody to do that or do calls or anything like that from camp.
Right.
On the chance that they would come in. I mean, because I've been around it whenever you call them in, and you don't want to do that around camp.
And you know, when y'all were this all happened at the same time. We were in a tent, and we heard something walking, sound like 2 legs, coming towards us from the bathroom area, but back further.
Yeah,
it's coming right at the tent. Heather, really good hearing. She said, "We can hear y'all talking at the fire." She said, "What is that?" I don't know. It may be somebody. Well, Honey, did y'all hear Honey bark the whole time that we were there? Did she? She didn't really make a noise hardly at all. She's not that type of dog, but she will give you warning. And she had a low growl, and I touched her to just let her know I was awake. And when she knew that I was aware, she quieted down. And whatever it was came right up to the back of the tent, and I could hear it breathing, y'all. And it wasn't pretty. And it walked, and it went, and y'all were looking with therms at that. Y'all heard it cracking, walking. And I heard y'all. And the reason y'all couldn't see it is because it was right behind the tent, and then it went right behind that that car, and then Cam's truck, and then Cam's tent, and right in that area, it went back into the woods and walked all the way back that dry creek bed. And it didn't come back. I got out of the tent, went right to y'all. What are y'all doing? What did you see? What did you hear? I was tore up then.
And that's a ways. I mean, there's a good distance back in behind there that goes over towards Red's Holler, which Parker walked all the way through there, but he walked down by the bottom where the water is. And I see where Mr. Grove said it was in January of 2024. He and his wife were there, had contact late afternoon. It was awesome. Okay, because I didn't know exactly what he was talking about. And yeah, whenever Katie says I've still got a shofar, gave Debbie the other one. Y'all, for everybody, just so you know, it's not just a shofar. You don't just go out in the woods and blow a shofar and the things come in. It's a certain shofar. It's been blessed a certain way, and you have to hit the exact right tone. And as far as I know, it takes like a rabbi or something like that. At least this is my understanding of it, to get you to that point where you can hit that tone. Anyway, just saying. So, all right.
Thanks, Spencer. Now we put
Scott said something about
Never put people in danger.
look, Go ahead, Misty, and then I got something to add.
No, I'm cutting out. I was trying to find that comment where he said something about didn't we follow Debbie after something back behind your tent? And that's when my dog would get, I mean, yeah, she'd bark a little bit for just a second. If she seen me walk off or something, want me to take her with me, she'd, throw her little 2 cents in. But she was looking back whenever we wasn't even over there, because I thought, I'm gonna have to go get this dog if she keeps barking. And when I walked over to get her, she was looking back behind the tent barking. And I'm not saying it was anything. I don't know. We were seeing eye shine, but every time we shined a flashlight, you couldn't see anything. It was down on the ground. But Jody, I'm pretty sure, was saying that she was seeing eye shine further back. And I was seeing eye shine down low to the ground. But Shiloh was just looking out in the distance with her hair raised up and was barking at something. So I don't know what it was.
And there was another time where everybody was talking to Greg, and she was by herself, and she focused back that way and locked in and started barking. And I'm watching her, and I'm like, JR, she's trying to tell us something. And then I think he got you, and she was focused. She turned that butt around and was right locked onto something. And
I
that
take her
happened
with
several
us.
times.
Yeah, I
That
take her
happened
with us
several
when we go and take her camping and stuff too. So I mean, she'll let you know when something's around, but normally she don't just bark at just random stuff. But I don't know, it was weird because we never could find anything.
And Martin had told me that story about they were there and what had happened, and it was just a couple. Then it was him and his wife. But I'm thinking, with all of us there, even a raccoon. I mean, I know they'll come in to hotels and stuff for food or whatever. But y'all, I was ignorant. I did not know there were a bear there. I had my apple sitting out on the table, and after I got home and started Googling, I'm like, oh Lord, we got to be more careful than this.
It wouldn't have mattered, Roger. It wouldn't have mattered. Debbie Porch was there. She'd run the damn thing off.
Yeah.
You was fine. You was good.
But
yeah, well, Jody said, yeah, we could definitely hear something back there, and but you couldn't see anything. And Billy said he thought it was Mark Green. Said there was orbs all along the ridge behind the camps too. And I heard a couple people say that.
yeah,
David, we seen them too.
Why didn't they tell me? I've never seen an orb. Ain't nobody say, "Hey, Greg, look over here's the orb. Look there."
You wasn't there.
I had Troy and Al with me, and Wanda and Abby would have been fine. But Troy and Al, they about like Spencer. When it gets dark, they asleep.
Oh my God.
I went and took a nap. I'd been back.
Every time somebody said something about noises back in there behind it, or like whenever Misty's dog was going off, there was a couple of us checking with thermals all the way around. I know that I never saw anything. I don't think anybody else that had thermals saw anything. But there was definitely noises.
Ken's just fixed it where Misty won't never go back to the LBL. Some of those lots were elimination spiders. She's done. We ain't getting her back.
Thank you for that, Scott.
Yeah, I mean she'll wait out there if there's 12 Bigfoot.
I'm out.
But now she's a spider, she's done.
Yeah, Michael X. I talked to Mr. Nunley. About that. It was Friday night. It was Thursday night when I had whatever walked up to the tent. So if it was Friday night, that was the night where we saw the dog and all the deer. That, like I said, on the way back, there was hardly any deer. But that particular night, there were 75 to 100. I didn't count them, but we were doing 35, and they were everywhere. And so I talked to Barton about that. He said that he saw the orbs, and he didn't know which tent was mine. And he was talking about it. He said, which tent? What color was your tent? I said, it was blue. He said, did it have a white awning? I said, yes. He said, I think I leaned on your truck to steady the camera. I said, it was maroon Chevy. He said, yeah, that was it. He said, it was right back there. And it moved, and people are talking. And he said, I'm just like, I can't believe this. And it was one light, I believe he said, that moved on back. But, and by the way, thank you, Michael X.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael X, thank you.
Hey,
Y'all,
Go
hang on. I got to say something right quick. I'm sorry. I have to apologize to Michael and to Mr. Tucker.
Oh God.
What'd you do?
What you're thinking, Spencer?
I forgot about that.
You didn't make my face red. Okay.
I'm not
We
gonna ask.
go out and we take
I'll
about
ask later.
minutes and like, no. I'm getting embarrassed. I'm sweating. That was not what I was going to say.
That's a first. I've never seen her
I know
turn
what
red.
she's getting rid about. That's the good part.
We went out and we done a couple of calls and we heard something that sounded like I'm crying. We heard something that sounded like a monkey. So when y'all heard me doing a monkey call, Daddy was just goofing off. Don't think that was nothing. We seriously get out there and do. I never told him no different, and I apologize for that.
That is not what I was going to tell about, but okay.
I knew what Spencer would.
That was not even the way Spencer described it. That is not what happened.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
That was not what happened. Like, was that far off the seat?
Yeah.
No. You like gave somebody a heart attack by doing what you did.
Oh, Lordy Jesus.
So she was trying to go out and win it? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Scott was there. Yes, you do have that on tape, I'm sure.
Oh God.
We're out there. I'm not even going to do it because it was crazy.
What's rocking in my head? I think from now on, this trip, we're going to refer to Roger's sighting as Roger getting mooned by a dang dog man.
Well,
no, it was two different ones. Yeah.
Somebody else at the meet and greet got mooned too, but we're not going to go into all that.
Oh, Lord.
Larry Port said, "Don't get out." So I have to climb over Spencer, stick my head out the window.
When did you start,
Over here against the window.
when did you start listening to Larry?
Larry was driving.
Now that's one thing I regret I didn't get to do is go out, and at least follow y'all and do some calling or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, that at nighttime on some of those back roads, y'all, the people that's never been there, there are no street lights. There's nothing reflecting hardly at all. It's pitch dark. And I was having trouble going back to the cabin because the trees had no leaves on it. The road was gray. And I was having to slow down because it was very deceiving, some of the curves and stuff. And now it'll be better when it gets green, I'm sure. But that was something I wasn't prepared for. It took us 45 minutes or so to get back just 20 miles because of having to drive that slow.
The scientific, there's a scientific term for what like LBL. It's called dark damn it.
Yes.
My nephew was born in Indiana, raised in the city. He was probably 7 years old when he visited us, stayed with us a long time ago. My uncle lived out on the back road, and he had the light on in the living room. He opened the door. He didn't have the porch light on. There was no lights. Bobby hit the ground, and I heard him. I didn't see him. He ran, didn't know Buddy, ran past him and jumped on the couch, turned around and said, "Whoo, y'all got a lot of dark out here." Buddy said, "Nice to meet you, little fella. What's your name?" He didn't even know him. He just ran right through the light. So.
Parts of LBL, I mean, we've been going there for years. If you go down the trace, like right down the middle of it, damn, that's dark. But there's a lot of, it's cut wide open on both sides of the trace. You get on some of those back roads and the trees, the canopy folds in over that. And I mean, you really can't see your hand in front of your face. And it's like, a lot of people talk about LBL and I think they've never been there before because they make it sound like there are boogers and dogmen everywhere. But there are special, I mean, at least for a lot of us that that have been doing it that I've been privy to, there are certain spots that you go to. And if you do certain calls at certain times of the year, that's whenever stuff pops off. It's not like there's always everything right there in the trace when you go down through the middle of it.
Well, after seeing the white wolf, there's a guy there. He doesn't go tell his name, and I know why, but y'all know him by War Criminal 7.
Yep.
And he used to bow hunt back that dirt road that we saw that. And he said he got ran out of there and he don't go back. He got bluff charged, triangulated bluff charge. I said, what was it? He said, I have no idea. I said, but I'm not going back in there, you know. And he said he counts by himself a lot, but y'all the seeing y'all know how a coyote, we saw it the next day. A coyote come out after a turkey. The turkey didn't know it was there. You know how when something's after something, it perks up. It's locked in on its prey or whatever. That's what this white dog was doing. It came up over that rise, and it came up right as it was a long drawn out curve. And right as our lights hit that corner is when it come up, and it scared it because it froze. And y'all seen a squirrel when it don't know which way to go, it'll shimmy. Yeah. Well, when it turned towards the truck and those eyes went red, not fire engine red, but really, really red, and they got bigger, they look like, because of the reflection. When it did its head like that, it blurred. And that was a hell of a sight. And but when it decided to turn back, its front legs come up. It didn't drop down and spin. It come up and turned, and it pivoted. It bent in the middle, and the back feet almost stayed straight for the majority of that time. And it followed almost like a trailer. You ever had a trailer behind, and you turn and it comes. It was really weird, and I couldn't get it out. I was trying. Heather said, I said, I don't know what I said. It was something bad, because she said, what? Where is it? And I said, on the right, and it was on the left. That's all I got out. So at the angle that it was running, and it went behind this tree, I'm like, it's about to cross that road, the dirt road. So I whipped the truck in there, and I'm looking at the edge of the woods line on the right side, waiting to see if it's going to cross. And Heather don't cuss y'all. And she said, oh heavens. I'm like, what is it? Where is it? What is it? And she said, I just saw a mist cross the road, or no, a vapor cross the road. I'm like, I put the truck in race for backwards, and I got out of there because I couldn't see it. I'm looking, I couldn't see it. And the next day when Debbie was talking to us, you know, she was asking good questions, great questions. and I hadn't even asked Heather at this point. I'm like, well, how tall was it? You know, I'm thinking, she said, no, it was the size of a dog, and it went all the way across the road and into the woods over there. And I'm like, oh Lord. And then Mark Green heard the vapor. He said, that's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard it.
So I'm shook up, y'all. And I was telling Spencer, the way my memory, when it works, I replay stuff like a movie. I'm not going to pick up too many more details, but I can play it over and over and over, back it up. And that's why I went back to do the video. And I brought everybody along, and I was looking for signs, and I found where whatever it was went in the leaves, and you could tell, and I saw the angle, and it confirmed it was the angle I thought it was, the two trees, everything. And I got to go down there, and I'm sorry, I rewatched it, and it wasn't a whole lot of detail, but I was thinking the whole time and watching. So yeah, that shook me up. I've never seen red eye shine like that. That dog was very large, and it was. I've seen coyotes, I've seen red wolves in person, in the wild, and this dog was as big as anything. Y'all saw Mac. Peyton's German Shepherd's about 90 pounds. This thing was at least 150, maybe bigger. I'm probably bigger. But It didn't move right. It didn't move. You know, I know how deer move. I know how dogs move. It just
like that right there, Roger. Greg, you can weigh in on this. Whenever you grow up like hunting stuff, you being out in the woods, you see how things move, and like you store it in your head. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like if a deer moved a different way than a deer normally moves, you would pay attention to that. You know what I mean? Whenever Roger says something like it didn't move right, I expect somebody to, you know, that's something that you key in on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. It's like watching them damn creepy ass horror movies where the damn people's like spider.
Yes.
Yeah, when you see that ain't the way folks is supposed to move. So immediately alarm bells are going off. Yeah, that's kind of like
when you scare an animal, especially like a dog or whatever, you know, when you scare a dog, one thing it's going to do is going to tuck its tail and it's going to get low. You know, especially if it's a wild animal. And Spencer was asking me questions, and he said something about the tail, and I'm like, I don't remember a tail. Because with the mountain lions, when they change directions, they'll use that to change direction. They'll whip that tail around, and they'll head the other way. That's one thing I can't tell you. I don't remember seeing that. I was so focused on that middle section bending, and I'm not saying it stood up. I'm saying instead of getting low and pushing off with the front legs, they came up. And it pivoted in the middle, and it sat down facing the other way. As it sat down, that rear end come around like a trailer almost. That wasn't right. Something. I mean, I was looking right at it. The lights were on it, and I'm closing on it, and we're talking 25 yards. I shoot, so I do it in yards. Out of feet, I can convert, but
Roger's seen a skinwalker.
Don't even start that.
But look, immediately I'm like, I've never seen red eye shine from a dog, and it was definitely canine. And I kind of don't want to tell this part. Oh, this is perfect. So I've told a few people that the red driveway markers, the reflectors, how deep red those are. It wasn't that red. It wasn't that red. And when I say, my sister even did it, I said, let's say if you put a little orange tint to it, but to back off that intensity. But y'all ain't.
About like a glow stick, Roger, a broke red glow stick that you see off from a distance.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was close to that right there. And when so if the eyeballs were this big, when the light hit it, they got that big. The reflection got that big. Now, on the way, I'm rolling this through. I'm talking it out. I'm going back. I said, well, maybe because we got this truck that's new to us, different type of headlights than we're used to. Maybe these bright headlights, made it look bigger. But I done told y'all there's 75 to 100 deer, and I was thinking all of their eyes are shining the same. So why would they would be different too, right? If it was the intensity of the headlights. So go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and did they move the same? Did the deer move the same as
normal?
The
deer, yeah, and they reacted. All of them reacted like deer. They some of them, all of them either took a few steps or at least acknowledged we were coming. They didn't spook. But whatever this wolf, I'm gonna say the white wolf, it was after something. It was locked in. It was coming across the road, and we surprised it. And it surprised us too. But I wished I'd had a video. I wished I'd had video going. I'm going to have to get something when we go places like that. I don't care. It's going to be on. Yeah, I mean, but I can't sit here and tell you that it was something other than a big wolf with red eyes. But it didn't move right, and it didn't. It didn't do like I expected it to, and that's what kind of that. And so I was shook up. I was talking, I was going over it, and I do that. I say it out loud so I can, I can hear it. And it sounds crazy, but I'm going over it, and Heather's asking questions, and I'm like, I didn't even ask her enough questions about the vapor part. But when she said, the vapor just crossed the road, we're out of there. I locked the doors and we're out of there. So we get about, it's about 2 miles from the Tennessee line. I didn't know it at the time. And when I went back, it's about right here. No, let me back up. When I saw what I saw, it was about 2 miles to the Tennessee line later. I mean, I'm shook up, y'all. I've done seen this thing. I'm going over it, and when we round this curve, there was on the right side, a little bit of a elevation there. It went down, kind of a ditch, and then it went down further into the woods. But we come around the curve, and there's this big, hairy, didn't look like fur, but, and it looked like it was bent over and digging like this right here. And it was so big, I've seen the large wild hogs, like the 250, maybe 3. I've seen those in the dark, in the Smoky Mountains, come around a curve, and there'd be one like, oh my God, But I've seen, there was a meat processing plant close to our store, and the farmers would come in, and I was just making conversation. How big is that one? And they tell me about how big it was. So that's kind of my reference of knowing how big they were. And so I'm saying 600-700 pounds easy. And it was broad. It was broad in the butt, and I couldn't see a tail, and I couldn't see the knees, and I didn't see a head. It was bent over. And
how high was the back end of it compared to the shoulders? A bear, normally the butt is up in the air compared to the front shoulders.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't on a slant. It was bent over, and so it humped over, and it wasn't even level. It was higher in the front, and it was doing this. It was doing this motion, sitting still. So it was digging or scratching. Whatever it was digging or scratching. When I got stopped, it's beside us. No, it's not 10 yards at all. And I start backing up. Now, everything reacted to us, everything, when they saw our lights. This thing was doing what it was doing, and it didn't care. But when I started backing up and the lights, I could start seeing the lights, that's when it eased off into the woods. Now, when it eased off, it was level. The back was level, and it was on the slope. So I'm asking people, I'm asking David, I'm asking Debbie, I'm asking everybody, I'm asking JR and Misty, what does a bear look like? Is it level? Is it this? Because what I saw was very strange. It was very big, and I don't have any idea. If I'd have seen an ear, if I could have seen an ear, I could have said, man, that was a bear. But Misty laughed at me because I told him, I go, I'm shook up, and I called Spencer. I got ears at everybody. Well,
it's because I pictured Roger like that little girl with the bear coming up to the porch. I picked that dog.
That dog. Woo. So I called Spencer.
I don't know why you didn't just go up the road a little ways and hide on side and see if you could hear anything.
I didn't want no part of. I didn't.
I mean, that's what you should have. You should have just went up and whooped off and like the edge of a field or something.
I know. Yeah, that's easy to say. Yeah, I'm gonna pull over. I'm squalling like a baby. I'm gonna pull over. Come here, Bigfoot. Come here, bear. Come on.
I'm telling you what. If we were on our show right now and we were interviewing somebody, this would be the point where I would say about Roger. I'd be like, look, you saw stuff moving in a different way than what, like it caught your attention. It moved in a different way. You're in an area where stuff happens. You had other people saying they recorded like trackways, vocals, possible other sightings during that time period and everything. But stuff like you saw a bear and it didn't move the right way, or you saw a canine thing and didn't move the right way. Now, maybe it's just like leaning on the side of optimism, but this would be the point where I would be pointing out, hey, how much stuff do you need in one area at one time before you start leaning a certain way and thinking, okay, maybe this is something. I mean, maybe it's not,
Right.
but maybe it is. You know, we get so busy trying to prove that we're being critical and we're trying to rule stuff out that sometimes we get to a point where we're not rolling stuff in.
Right.
I mean, somebody that is a normal. All I'm saying for everybody is that somebody that grew up like hunting or spending time in the woods, you know what an animal looks like. You know what an animal moves like. If you've seen a bear more than 2 or 3 times in person, you know what a bear looks like. You know how a bear moves. Same way with a deer, same way with a coyote, all that kind of stuff. You don't,
Right.
you guys, whenever you first see it, you log it in your memory and you kind of put that in there and that becomes part of your fact bank. And whenever you see something that doesn't go with that and you're like, wow, that's kind of weird. There's something about it that stands out. I'm just saying, maybe we get to a point where we are so busy trying to double check ourselves that we overlook a lot of the stuff that we're talking about.
There's 3 things right quick before I forget. One, if it'd been me and you and Greg and Misty, and we'd have been 4 or 5 of us, it would have been totally different than me and my wife and my dog.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? All right. Now, another thing is, I knew I was going to forget it. I did. I had 2 more points that I was going to make, but okay. So the way I grew up, Spencer, if I was hunting and my dad was always, what'd you see? Well, I definitely saw a 5-pointer, and I saw a doe, maybe 2 young little ones or whatever. We didn't exaggerate. And if I saw that, it might have been an 8, could have been a 9, whatever. If I told him that or he told me that, we pretty much would. If we saw the deer 3 weeks later, well, that's the one Daddy saw right there because it had this and had that, and that's the way I grew up. So, and also, I don't want to do a disservice. I don't want to get in a bind of giving you details that I didn't see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I tell you what I saw every time, then that's what it was. I'm not going to add a detail or take anything away. Now, sometimes you'll forget maybe, but some of this stuff is, like you said, it burns in. And I have been trying to, with the white dog, that's what that was. It could have been, you know what I mean? With this other thing, I think the one thing that bothers me the most that I didn't see something I could identify.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna go 99% it was a bear because there are bears there, and I didn't see anything to say it wasn't a bear. But
Did its ass kind of do this as it was running?
it was just, what I saw was just a smooth gate, and I didn't get a good look at that. But what Misty was laughing at me about, I said, "Yeah, I went back and got Wi-Fi, and I was googling bear ass."
No doubt.
I said I'd hate to know what all came up.
No, then I found out what that meant. My sister told me what you was talking about, and I didn't know, so I thought, what an idiot.
If I had heard you talking about it on a YouTube channel and I didn't know who you were,
right,
and I was just listening to the story, trying to evaluate it, if you said that the butt was lower or level with it, and you said it moved funny, you didn't see a tail, and it kind of moved really smooth, but not scared.
Right.
If I had heard you say that on a YouTube video and I didn't know nothing about you, I'd be paying really close attention to that because it don't sound like a bear.
It didn't make sense because of the slope.
We have bears around here. I mean, almost as much as we do deer. See them all the time, and that don't sound like a bear. But
look,
maybe it was. I don't know. I wasn't there.
It was a big son of a gun, and that's possible. But with me, I was trout fishing or going to trout fish in Gatlinburg and got my license. Was down there scouting. They released them every Wednesday or Thursday, and we're there on Friday. and I was down there looking at the pools and the tails under the rocks and stuff. And I heard somebody yelling back here, and the water was rushing, and I wasn't paying any attention because everybody that I knew was in the room, my wife and my 2 kids. And I you know how you get, there's a good pool there, and you keep going down. Well, there's a dumpster down there at the very bottom. It comes to a V. And what that guy was saying, I turned to my right, and he said, "There's a bear down there." And I'm thinking, "Boy, I'd hate to be down there." And he was talking to me. And so this one, he was a male standing up. I'm guessing he was about 250, maybe 300. But
Hey, Scott B.
do what now?
I was just saying.
Oh
hello.
yeah.
You gotta
But anyway,
overlook him.
I ain't even look.
Shut up.
Looking.
Spencer's calling out his one fan.
Hey, look here. I got to say something, though. I can't call her out on here by name because I can't tag her or nothing. So she knows who she is. I'm glad to see you're in chat.
What does that even mean?
That's covert.
He knows what it means. He knows what it means. I can't give her name. I'm not allowed to.
Covert.
I'm
sorry.
in the house.
I know who it is. I know it is. Yes, I know exactly who it is because I told her the other night. I said, "Get in chat with us."
Yes.
Wait a minute. I might have heard. Who is that?
I can't tell you.
I think yes, I know. I was there. I'm not going to say.
Misty, we break people out of their shell. It won't be long. She'll be.
I remember that. I don't remember who it was though. Now, Spencer.
Yeah.
Some people might not have seen y'all show. You want to tell them about the trackway, possible trackway that y'all found?
Well, there ain't really that much to talk about. I didn't want to bring it up while we were at the meet and greet. I didn't want 100 people going over there and trying to see it because we were at a Bigfoot meet and greet. Right. But what happened was Mark Green had been to LBL 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that, before we were there. Mark Green took a picture of something on a power line, and he was like, "What do you think about it?" And in his defense, it very well could have been a booger walking across the power line. But it kind of looked like a tree or like a burnt tree trunk that was up high. And he said, whenever we go back, we're going to go over there and drive by if it's still there. And if it is, then obviously it's not a booger. And if it's gone, we'll go up there and look and see what the deal is. We drove by there. Now, I will say for everybody listening, LBL, it's got a main road that goes through it. Okay. Then there are all these other roads that go off to the side of it. There are a couple roads, if you know what you're doing, that go back in there off of the main roads. And that's where we go to do like calls or look for tracks, stuff like that. Well, the road they took the picture on was right there at one of the main areas that we always go to. Okay. But anyway, we drove back in there. We looked, sure enough, it was still there. It was a tree or a bush or something. It was way back in there. I'm making them. Oh, Abby. Oh, that's awesome, baby. Whatever. Tinsley really likes gray and black, and Amory loves pink and purple. Thank you very much. I'll get them to make you one. But anyway, we went back in there. It was still there. While we were there, Mark was upset. He was like, "Damn, I was hoping that would be something." And I was like, "Well, while we're here, and the power line goes on for a long time, right?" That's right. That's right, Scott. Damn it, stop interrupting me while I'm telling this story. But anyway, while we were there, I was like, "Mark, hold on."
Yeah.
And I got out and looked, and they had mowed down that power line, and they had put hay out, and they had planted seed. But I wanted to see right there where they mowed. And sure enough, we found what I'm pretty sure is a trackway, but I don't want to say it on YouTube for everybody to think that, yes, it's definite 1000%. I will tell you this, y'all. What was weird was this is the first time I've ever seen this. It was the first couple impressions that were like 2 inches deep were about 8 inches long, and it looked like a U shape. Like imagine the back of your heel, except for it was probably, I don't know, 5-6 inches wide and about 8 inches long, right? And it was going in line about 4.5, 5 foot apart. And it was after 2 or 3 steps, it was bigger. What is everybody laughing at?
No, we're listening.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's on the go.
You're doing a fine job. Really.
This is in the chat. We'll fill you in after the show.
I've got a question. I've got a question.
I don't ever just randomly see us like grinning for no reason. We're reading.
I'm paying attention. I got a question, Spencer. When it was a half track, smaller track, was it uphill or downhill at that point, or was it level?
It looked like it was going downhill. It was completely in line. It was 4.5, 5 foot in between. And it went from this long U shape, about 8 inches long, to 10, 12 inches long, wider. And then it was a full, kind of looked like that hourglass shape, like an actual foot. And on the video, if you can see Anthony standing beside it and me standing beside it, they're about 2 inches deep. The whole thing was about 2 inches deep, was probably 16 or so inches long, and about 8 or 9 inches wide at what would be the ball of the foot. And it went for about 100 yards. So I was pretty well convinced it was a trackway. It looked like partial steps and then turned into full steps. I don't know how to explain that, but that's what we found.
Well, from what I've been hearing, and I don't know anything, but hearing from different people and seeing different things, I'm almost convinced, and I've never heard this from anybody. Greg got me on the track. He was talking about they flex this way also. I'm not too sure they don't flex every direction.
Well,
You know
I
what
mean, a lot of people that
I don't
talk
know.
about finding like 4-toed tracks or 3-toed tracks,
Yeah.
For all we know, their foot is way more flexible, and maybe they're raising certain toes and digging with others. I mean, maybe a 3-toed track or a 4-toed track is actually a 5-toed creature. They're just, if you ran around the woods your whole life with no shoes on, if you break a toe or get something cut off because you hit a sharp rock or whatnot, I mean, who's to say that a lot of these tracks, they're not the same individual, and everybody's going, oh, it only had 3 toes or it had 4 toes. I mean, maybe it's the same creature. You know what I'm saying? It's just it can move its foot differently, or something injured its foot. If you look at Jeff Meldrum, if you follow his work, the cripple foot cast, I mean, that doesn't really look like a standard Bigfoot track, but I leave it to someone like him that has, expertise in that field. And they're going, oh, this is bone spur and it damaged it this area and it made the foot disform to a certain degree. There are no experts in this field. The best that we can do is just say, this is what we saw, take video, take pictures, and just report it to everybody.
Yeah. And what was interesting about that cripple foot, they didn't know it. There were other researchers in other hollows or other that found the same track and didn't even know it for years. And they patented it.
I might be wrong on this, but I want to say that I recall him saying at one point that they found the cripple foot track whenever it was smaller, like 100 or 200 miles away from where they found it later. And y'all, if you're thinking about this logically, I mean, somebody that is hoaxing this stuff, they don't go 150 miles north or south or east or west and fake these things in the middle of the woods where if it rained, the person wouldn't find it, and they're just doing this stuff randomly throughout the country. That's my take on it. But
all right, take Meldrum and throw him out the window and bring in Jimmy Chilcutt from Arkansas.
Right.
Jimmy Chilcutt he's testified in court. He's done all this.
He is considered to be the forensic expert in North America.
Fingerprints, dermal ridges, and that's the thing about it, y'all. I mean, like if he looks at a human feet, the skin grows in certain patterns. Now, everybody's footprint is different. Yep. Your dermal ridges are different, just like our fingerprints. But they do have certain design characteristics of the way it grows. So maybe this part of a human hand goes this way, and this part goes. I'm just out in the dark here, but it grows certain ways. And on these tracks, Chilcutt is checked everywhere from Florida to Maine to California. These Bigfoot, the tracks that he studied, they've been in kind of a class all their own that he's found the characteristics to be the same all across the country.
The dermal ridges run at a certain angle.
Yes.
On supposed Bigfoot tracks.
Yes, and look, here's the deal. If I could say, okay, I'm not going to say that people don't go out there and cut out a big mold out of plywood and try to joke or trick their buddies. Sure. But when they're doing that, you show me the man that's got the talent or the skill to carve basically like fingerprints in a whole big 18-inch footprint, and it be a total different one that this other guy 200 miles away as far as the actual print itself, but it's the same basic design. How does that work? I mean, debunk that.
If you're arguing that with people, though, you've already gotten to a point where you're just arguing stuff with people that are not listening to logic. Y'all, who has the time to go 200 miles away and fake this stuff? Like, not on a main path that people walk down, but just in the middle of the woods that was randomly discovered. The odds are too much against it in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I know there's people out there. I have yet to buy the first piece of casting equipment or material or
me neither.
And the thing is, we're at a point now where there's so many people casting. What good is it going to do if it'll be a personal thing, like, hey, I found that at whatever. Other than that, it means hardly anything. Yeah.
At this point, I don't know if you brought a damn sawed off foot that you cut off with a Husqvarna chainsaw, if people would believe it.
If people want to experience boogers, I'm telling you, Alabama is the most boogeriest place I've ever been to. But for example, and I cannot say this enough to whoever will see this video, at like Greg's Man Cave, there's been 25 of us there in the past year. We have had everything from howls, screams, wood knocks, branch breaks, rocks thrown, sitting on Greg's back deck. Because now you have to keep in mind that Greg lives right up against Bankhead. What the heck is she doing?
I don't know. My eyes just focused and slammed. I don't know what the
something. I don't know.
I was dodging. I didn't know what she.
I went to go get something to drink and came back and I turned it on and it was purple.
So you do this on the holster? It's like,
hey.
Check me.
That's
no.
That's that Wiccan magic.
She's banishing the lies and the evil spirits.
It keeps on poke that voodoo doll over in the corner.
Yeah, I was trying it. Wasn't working.
Well,
I'm sorry.
and look, we all know, like Spencer has said, and we all know there'll be people, they'll watch this, and that's all BS. You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. I don't care. I don't care.
Roger,
I mean, you can go say whatever you want to. I'm just telling you guys what I saw. Heather saw the vapor. Spencer, it's to the point where there's so many people. They'll want you to have. I've said this a few times before. They'll want you to have a 20-year conversation in 3 minutes, and I ain't got time for that. I did all my researching and whatever, and online, and there's so much out there, and there's a lot of fake stuff out there. There's probably more fake stuff than there are real items. We know that. But the thing is, if you have an analytical mind, you can spot that pretty quick. You know what's BS and what's not. You ain't got to tell me. I mean, I don't need anybody telling me what's fake.
It's getting so good now, though. I mean, that's what runs it for people that actually catch something, because it's they've got to where they can pretty much fake anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
and
like,
some of it look pretty good.
If me and Greg are out there fishing behind his house and we see one run through the water over there, and we ain't got it on film, me and Greg knows. That's all that really matters, right?
That's why I carry a cell phone, but here's the deal. The times that these things has been around me, last damn thing I thought about was getting a cell phone and video and anything. Oh, Greg was skin on his ass getting back home.
Yep. And it like you said, if it was 5 of us out there and we trusted each other, it'd be a different story. But when you got people you're responsible for, or you're in a spot where you're outnumbered, you're outflanked, you're in an ambush point, I'm paying attention to that stuff.
Even if you did this in an active area, y'all, there was 100 people that we just had in an area that is known for activity for 3-4 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, between all 4 of us, we were there, and we get on YouTube all the time and talk about this stuff. I'll be the first one to say I did not run a recorder or a camera or a thermal, maybe 1% of the time.
I never turned one on. Not the first time. Nothing. And didn't have my phone on me half the time.
All I'm saying is, if all of us that were there, if we would have had a camera of some kind or a cell phone going, a recorder, a thermal going all the time that was recording, I mean, maybe we would have caught stuff. But do you know how hard it is to be in an area and be there for like 24 hours, much less 48 or 72, something like that, to keep up with the batteries, to not just like stop and talk to your friends beside you. Most of the time what happens is you have all the equipment right there. You don't have it turned on because you're saving batteries, or you're busy like cooking food, or you're in the middle of a conversation. You hear something, you're like, holy cow. And nobody has a recorder going. Nobody has a camera going. You turn it on then and nothing else happens. Or you hear a noise like behind the tents, behind where Roger was. And we all go and we turn on the cell phones and we're recording, and we got thermals going and we're looking at everything. Nothing happens. You put the stuff away after 10, 15 minutes, and an hour later, it happens again, but you don't have stuff going. It's really, really hard to catch this stuff whenever you do it in person. It's a hard thing to catch.
I know I'm doing this to learn. I'll always be trying to learn, and I have no dreams that I'll be the one that gets that smoking gun pizza. I'm not. But now where I am at, if me and Heather see an orb like we saw a year ago, I'm getting something out. I'm gonna try to record it. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't have any of that, so I'm kind of changing in that way a little bit. But that wasn't a scary situation. Well, it might have been. I was just too stupid to know it was. And it lasted over 20 minutes, and I could have got. Who's to say? I could have turned the camera on. It might have went away quicker. I don't know. But I feel like I could have got video of that, but I don't know how clear it would have been. And you could pick that part. So,
Roger, the thing about it, and I've told people this, the sightings that I've had, it'd be like me sitting here with y'all for 2 days and having my phone ready, and I was going to catch one of y'all sneezing.
Right.
I mean, that's about what it's like. It's like I got my phone ready, and if I sit here for hours, eventually I'm going to get tired, and by the time I lay it down, one of y'all's going to sneeze.
yeah.
I'm not going to catch that. And plus, not only when y'all sneeze, it's going to be like we're cooped up in the cab of a truck, and one of y'all's got the plague, and I'm trying not to get it because I don't want to die. You know, when you have some of the experiences that I've had with these things, I promise you, the last thing on your mind is, hey, I want to get a picture, or hey, I want to record that.
Yeah.
Have one of these things chase you out of the woods and tell you you're worried about videoing a damn thing.
I tell you what,
Go ahead.
the
Missy.
only place is like at Greg's. I firmly 100% believe these things remember you. Like, I don't think it takes but one time. I think if they show any kind of interest in you whatsoever, I think they remember you. I have noticed it every time I went to Greg's during the day. As soon as I pulled up, I hadn't been there 10 minutes, and we was getting monkey calls through the day. As soon as I pulled up, we were still standing in the front yard.
That was Greg's
I
name.
would 100% be comfortable at Greg's because, like, I don't know. I mean, I've not seen them, but I've not seen them do anything that, you know.
Yeah,
like
and y'all go ahead and just stress to these people what the rules here are when I have my close.
No
Yeah.
calling whatsoever. No.
Well, I mean, Greg doesn't run cameras. He doesn't do calls. None of that. Well, I mean, which I understand. He's got to live with them. So everybody else, we're like, hey, we go to Greg's. We're like, man, let us run, like, you know, put game cams out and all that stuff. He's like, hell no, I got to live with them, which I understand. They come right up to his house. I mean, damn, I don't know if they were coming up to my house. I wouldn't want people messing with them either.
Oh,
So,
I didn't have to live around them or been in the woods with them when they didn't like me at all. And that was rough. Years of it rough.
I know how I'd react. I'd be off in another county somewhere because when we got back to the cabin after seeing those two things, Heather woke up to go to the bathroom. She said, "Why are the lights on outside?" I said, "Because I want them on." That's all I said. She didn't say anything.
well, at
I'm scared. It spooked me.
At Kumbo's place, everybody has heard Kumbo's stuff for 20 years. You know, we all accept that he lives with them, deals with them and everything. Whenever he was showing us around land and we were going to go to dinner, we didn't know anything was going to happen. Kumbo stopped and, just said, hey, let's say hello to him, and did a yell before anybody had anything going. I mean, not just me. I know everybody jokes about it, but it wasn't just me. There was what, y'all?
All of us. We were going out to eat. Everything I had was in the car with Mark and Rebecca.
Yeah.
Nobody brought anything.
There was 10, 12 people standing there, and he was like, let me say hello. Did a call. One hollered back in the middle of the day. If
Yeah,
we'd
it was like, 3 o'clock in the evening?
yeah, something like that. If we'd have recorded that, that would have been impressive as hell.
And the one that happened with
The icing on the cake was I looked straight at Spencer. I said, "Did you get that?" And he looked like the little fat kid.
He was about to cry.
I didn't record out.
His
That
bottom lip going.
That was because he had just done the whole rock thing where he walked past me and gave you the rock. I was like, damn it.
Oh my
And that-
God, he was
and that-
so broken
that-
hearted.
That's what kills you is we were at that spot over 4 hours and I had recorders out, but after 2 or 3 hours of nothing, nothing's going to happen tonight. It was about 1 a.m. and what was awesome was Peyton's girlfriend Kenzie won't talk about it, but at our meet and greet, she told Spencer she did a good job. I've never heard, she won't mention it. She's scared, but she felt comfortable enough around everybody there that she knew she could talk about it. If somebody walked up, they weren't going to laugh at her.
Yeah.
And and she confirmed everything that we said. And like I said, she hit the ground and locked Peyton out of the truck. But if I'd had the recorder on, it was so close. It would have been an amazing piece of evidence, but it didn't happen.
If I'd had a recorder that day that them two come around me when I was hitting that, I was hitting that treetop by that big white oak. Man, when they got together down below me and they were talking back and forth, if I had recorded that, it would have blown the Sierra sounds completely out of the water. I'm talking about I would own the internet right now. That was the damnedest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it wasn't like hard to hear. I'm talking about, it's 100 feet and it was loud, dude. It would be like you sitting in the cab of the truck with somebody with the windows rolled up and them talking like somebody hard of hearing talking really, really loud to you. It was that loud from 100 feet. And this went on for minutes and minutes and minutes. And I'm like, I got to go. I got to get out of here. Oh my God. And I was there again. One of them times I was afraid they was going to figure out where I was, that I was there and I wasn't supposed to be. But I was gone.
And did you hear? I mean, I know you did. This was amazing. Pyro. Some of he said he was at a Bigfoot conference in Oklahoma, I believe.
Yeah.
And there was a guy playing some sounds he caught, and he heard Choctaw words, and he snapped around, and said another guy heard it too. And he said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yes, I heard it." And they went over there. That blew my mind. That takes it to another level.
Yeah.
So it gives a little credence to maybe people have traded with them and got maybe there are 4 or 5 different kinds. I don't know, but I got goosebumps him telling that story.
Yeah.
And that wasn't planned for him. He just happened to be in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heard the words.
But Roger, going back to what y'all were talking about a minute ago about, the reason you do this and this and that. I went a very long time that I wouldn't talk to nobody, especially wasn't going to do a podcast. And I never once, in a million years, would have thought I would have been doing a podcast. I was very, I kept it to myself. But y'all, the reason I'm doing this now, I'm not trying to prove this to anybody. The reason y'all are seeing me right here, well, of course, I love all y'all to death. Y'all like family. But here's the deal. I want to be talking to these people like PJ and some of these other folks is having to deal with these things. And y'all, when you're dealing with this and you don't have people to talk to, it's tough. It's bad tough, because I went for years with nobody to talk to, and it'll make you think you're going crazy. And you kind of figured out what's going on. But then once you figure it out and you finally see that son of a gun, man, the whole world changes.
I love that story. I love the story of your first actual sighting. The emotion came out, and you're hitting the steering wheel, and that's
dude. I don't know how I didn't bend the steering wheel, just collapsed, folded over.
That was amazing.
And that was in the middle of the day. It was 11:30 a.m. January the 29th of 2009. So I've been dealing with these things about 9 years. And when I tell people, look, I've had dozens of encounters. When I'm talking about dozens, I don't mean like 2 dozen or 3 dozen. I'm talking about like 10 or 12 dozen of encounters at that point in time. And we couldn't put it together. I kind of knew what it was. And then the more I researched and the more I tried to find out, because we didn't have the old super duper internet so much then. There wasn't all these podcasts and things that I knew about it all. And, just by the grace of the good Lord, I just a random meeting with Bill White, Tal Bronco. And man, it was just like my whole world opened up. And then that man sits on my porch and talks to me for 4 hours. And he's like, yeah. And I'm telling him what's happened and what I'm hearing. And he's like, yeah, it's a booger. You got a booger. And then he's like, give me his number. And he's like, if you have anything happen, call me. And hell, I was calling Bill White, like at least every 2 weeks. Like, hey, dude, I went over here hunting today and the damn thing chased me out of the woods, or hey, it stole the deer or something. And then that, like everybody's heard me tell, that's how I got hooked up with Coonbo, is through Bill White. And it's just been like it's been my whole deal with this after it kind of everything changed. But I just started getting shoved into people's lives, and it just opened things up for me big time.
How mine happened was at the job I had, they were like, "Hey, y'all can listen to your earbuds if you want to." We were in this cage, and nobody could run over us, whatever. You know what I mean? There was a safety cage there, and we were inspecting parts. And I'm like, I don't have anything. This young girl, she's like, "Hey, you can listen to mine. I listen to podcast." I'm like, "Podcast?" And she was listening to true crime stuff, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I have that app on my phone. Let me see, what do I want to listen to?" And I'm thinking music at first, and I was like, Bigfoot. I bet they got Bigfoot. And that's how all this got started, because I heard a certain person contacted that person, and y'all, this last 13, 14 years, 13 to 14 months has been nuts, because I come from hadn't told my story much at all to go in and tell it publicly to where we're at right now. And it's motivated me to get out. I was just scouting Colson Hollow. I didn't know where that was at, right? And so anyway, it's just it's weird how it happens and how we got thrown together. I think Spencer is responsible for that. I'm not sure.
Why do you keep giving him credit for that, Roger? Now, how many times do I got to freaking tell you? I brought you in, Roger.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Roger, once Roger met us, it wasn't like 3 weeks. He took your handshake down.
we corrupted Roger right off the get.
Yes. Y'all feeling bad every now and then. I think we've backslid Roger.
Yes.
I sent Roger a message on Facebook Messenger, and I was like, you should really look, I don't get credit for that either, Roger. I was like, you should really do a podcast of your own, Roger. You do really good at it.
I think I remember that.
Wait, though. I was talking to him for 2 weeks before you ever started talking to him. And then you
brought him in the group text.
and then you brought him in. But I was talking to him first.
Well, you have to have tough skin. But it's cool. It's like, I don't
need your spouses to put up with us, because sometimes it may be 2 texts, sometimes it may be 200.
What do you mean sometimes? It's like every other morning I wake up, you missed 189 texts.
No, we've been trying to behave now. Come on.
That's still a flow.
Yeah, that's what Michael X is talking about. I forgot to change my name from Heather to Heather's husband or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember when I did that.
That way Sunday.
Was it? Yeah, that's right. Y'all all just run together. Billy Schilling, I still don't talk to Roger. Yeah. I did not cut apples and spread them around your truck and then leave.
Yeah, he said you made him bait.
Yeah. He was so funny. I said, "Did you get cold last night?" "Oh yeah." He said, "I was sleeping in the back of that truck, and I woke up and my boot was in my back. My foot was still in it."
I just got to worrying about today. I wonder if Cam's cut his finger with that spax yet.
Oh,
no, I don't know. That's what I told him. I saw him handling. I said, "Don't pull that out. You'll cut your hand with it still in the sheath. Don't mess with that thing. Give it back to him."
Hey, Spencer, a while ago, I was going to bring up, Spencer was talking about the cripple foot track. David Blaylock, if Misty don't start wearing shoes, she's like cut from head to toe. She's like a hemophiliac. She's bled so much, you're going to have to go get some iron or something.
I'm telling you what, I don't know who in the world told David it would be a good idea to give me shit that's sharp.
I swear, if she'd have grabbed one of the volleyballs, it'll look like Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big bloody print on there.
She's doing awesome with her napping, but God, safety.
I appreciate it. My hands are so sore.
Safety on her somewhere.
It's every 2 hours she done cut her hand, her foot, her leg, her eye.
Yeah, it got me in the lip. I don't know if you can see it. Right there.
Yeah.
In the lip.
I told her a while ago it was glasses. Her new haircut wasn't gonna match a damn eye patch.
I think I can pull it off.
And the bad part is she's making such cool little trinkets that we're fighting over them.
Yeah.
She made a Bigfoot. She made a foot.
She's making mini Bigfoots.
Yeah. Foot.
I'm going to try to make necklaces out of them.
crap, she's napped out some cool looking arrow points or spear points and stuff.
No, she broke the spear point.
I was mad. I broke every one of them that I've tried to do, like every single one of them.
Was you trying to do it with a rock like Spencer's coaching you?
Yeah,
No, I wasn't trying to coach her. I was just saying that's the way that we always did it. Was
I
with the
made one.
I
forgot to send you guys a picture.
Yeah,
I did make one out of rocks only. I've got to send you a picture of that one.
you're there.
That's hard.
Yeah, it was really hard. I had to find all kinds of different size rocks to do it, and I broke it, so it wound up about half the size of I wanted it to be. So, but it's still, I was able to do it.
Spencer, I've got something I want, and I need you to take measurements because this thing right here would be the ultimate Skinner. It's perfectly balanced. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but look where my finger's at. Look at that.
Yeah.
If you could make that, if you could recreate that with metal.
I used
Isn't
to make
it beautiful?
Skinners
unbelievable.
that were like that. In fact, Cheryl Corntassel has one. It's got the full size handle, but a real small blade. As soon as I get a shop set back up, I'll start making more and just like give them out to all of us in the Bigfoot world. But yes, that design with a small blade and a full size handle, that's a good design.
Perfect. I mean, when I picked it up, I'm like, oh, that is fit my hand.
I sent Greg a video of a freaking homemade slingshot.
No doubt.
Was that not cool? He was like, you should make that and do the small tips and run it through it. This thing was awesome. It was made out of bamboo. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was like very primitive deal, but it was shooting arrows instead of like stones.
And it was, I mean, busting them too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was basically like a rubber band slingshot, but it was shooting at little arrows.
Yeah, I'm making one.
I guarantee you that right there, you could practice with that, and you'd be surprised what kind of animals you kill.
I'm telling you, I've got a shed that I found, and it's a really nice one. This is like the best one I've ever found. And I wanted to cut it up so bad to try to do what David done with his knives.
Yeah.
And JR's like, I can't believe you're going to cut that shed up. I was like, what does it matter?
She'll be doing it.
What? I don't have to.
Look, the best thing to do for that, start looking at yard sales or looking at flea markets. There'll be people just have like a set of horns instead of like a full mount.
Yeah.
For $3 or $4 for a pretty good deer horn, set.
That's what I need to do.
And then that way you got no attachment to it.
Hey, have you ever just walked around though and shed hunted? Holy crap, it's hard to find sheds.
We were Bigfoot hunting whenever I come up on this one. It's nice. It's a daggum 5-pointer, and I mean, it's perfect.
Well, like that, like on the shed hunting. Y'all know what happens to the antlers whenever they drop off, right? Like all the little critters gnaw on them for the calcium and everything.
They don't last long.
Well, I'm just simply saying, I mean, neither does a carcass or any kind of skeleton in the woods.
Yep.
Let me tell y'all a little secret. There's a guy that lives probably 8-10 miles from me. I went and done some work for him. We had to go out. He had his barn. He said, come in here. He had a heater in there he's wanting me to look at. And he had one of those big things like you see at the grocery store. It's a pallet with a big thick cardboard around it. That thing was mounted over with deer antlers sliding off in the floor. I'm like, my God, where did you get all these? And y'all, I mean, it would have been like a truck bed full of deer horns. He said, I've been finding these things for probably 15, 20 years. I'm like, well, how in the world did you find so many? He said, well, it's pretty easy. He goes, and he had a little Russell Terrier come running in there.
Oh, man.
Takes a horn and flip it. He said, that's the only thing I'll play with that dog is a piece of horn. He'd play fetch. Well, they would go out in the woods with it. He carries a little dog with him, like this time of year when their horns are shedding. He said they just walk. He said that little dog would be all out in the woods running. Said here in a minute he'd come up and have a horn in his mouth and want to play. But that dog, he said, look, he said he'll smell them or whatever. But then he would take and put up like a deer feeder, just like a piece of pipe on a tree with a hole in the bottom, fill it up with corn. Well, then he would take metal T-posts, like fence posts, and he would drive them in a circle around that tree, and he would calculate the distance where like a doe deer with no horns could put its head between those posts. And he said they could get in there to the corn, but said a buck with horns on it would get up there trying to push his head through that gap between the posts. and he'd start pushing. When his horns got loose, the post would just push him off. He said he'd walk around where he had those feeders. He said he'd walk up there and said they'd be like 2 horns laying there where that buck was pushing to get to the corn.
Wow.
And I was like, "Dude, you've like got this down to an art to find deer horns."
Yeah, that's smart.
Yep.
I had.
Where did Spencer go?
I don't know where he went.
He's backstage. You want me to pull you up, Spencer? All right. He disappeared. Well, Peyton, this wasn't much work to this, but he said, "Show that to Spencer." He took and cut an antler and had a sharp, and then had some goon tape around the bottom of it for grip. It was. I wouldn't want anybody poking me with it.
It was a prison shank for sure.
It was a good one. But oh man, what Misty? You can use big bones also.
Yeah,
I sure
I didn't think about that.
like cow bones and all kinds of
Like,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Misty,
I'm already in trouble. No, you didn't. You didn't.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I didn't say anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if y'all had thought anything different than I did, we wouldn't be friends.
Did you notice as soon as Roger said that comment, Greg was like, "No."
Yeah.
Gosh, bless it. Kids are killing me. I'm out.
Well, y'all want to? We've been
Your haircut
almost 2
looks
hours.
Thank you very much.
Hey, y'all. Anybody have any questions
Yeah.
about any of the stuff we've talked about? Or
Hey,
Oh,
I got a question that we ain't talked about. Spencer,
okay,
whose is that?
what?
What? Which one? What?
This chair, this beautiful chair behind.
Oh, Lord.
I
I'm surprised you got room to put it out there.
know whose chair that is.
Yeah.
Mine,
So-
you know, it came from.
I know exactly.
Hold on. If anybody's going to tell the story, at least let me tell it. So everybody loves Squirrel better, right?
That's not true. I took up for him over the chair.
Who invited him to the meet and greet? Wasn't you? But anyway, Cam Buckner left, and apparently people tried, whenever you got like 20 chairs sitting around a campfire, if you get up, somebody else comes in, they're going to sit in your chair. So Misty took up for him. But anyway, Cam
I was
left.
gonna die over Cam.
He forgot his chair, and he texted me and said, "Hey, I forgot my chair." And I said, "Okay, no problem." And he said, he texted right back. He's like, "No, go ahead and give it to Misty. Tell her I said thanks." I didn't. I said, "Okay." But in my head, I was like, "Son of a bitch."
He didn't know the story.
Here's the thing. If Spencer had took that home, his wife would have been, "What happened to your recliner? And why is there a folded chair in the living room?"
Why are you sleeping with a rock?
Yes. Why do you have a rock and a folding chair in the middle of the living room? Leave me alone.
That's cool.
No,
y'all,
no, look.
and
What
people-
happened? Go ahead, Roger. No, I just want to say, Cam, somebody was sitting in his chair, and all the fellas was standing around, and they were all sitting and just playing around and talking about throwing somebody out of his chair. Kevin Ashby, I'm calling you out.
Wait. I'm going to say one more thing, y'all. I'm not going to name any names, but this was so funny. Cam was talking to somebody else about like improving your views on YouTube and everything, right? And somebody else comes up.
Go ahead and say it.
No. Somebody else comes up and starts talking to Cam like, "Oh, you should be doing this. You should be doing that." And I was standing there to the side. I was
This
like,
is what I do.
I was like, Cam's got like 1 million followers. And this other person is like, "Well, what I've read is you should do this and you should do that." And Cam's just like looking at him like,
He was telling me, he was giving me some advice, and tell me some things. And he looked at Spencer. He said, "You don't change nothing you do."
He said, keep doing lives. Keep doing lives.
Y'all have a good thing going. You don't change anything.
We have a comic relief.
And what was funny was I used the word fanboying. I kind of was a little bit because meeting Spencer and Misty for the first time, and I felt like we kin to each other, and to the point where I didn't even say hi to Misty because she was probably, like I said earlier, what the hell is wrong with him? He didn't say nothing to me, and I realized it and I went back. Yeah. So, but then I get these people are coming in, and I save a spot for Spencer, and Spencer goes on. What happened?
Neoma Finn is in chat. Hey, Neoma.
Yeah,
Spencer, shut up.
she's been here this whole time.
Yeah, she got here before you did.
Yeah,
She's been here. We told her how.
yeah,
I just now saw her.
yeah.
I just want to say, shut up, y'all. Hi, Neoma.
Hey, Neoma. So, as soon as I heard his voice, I didn't know him. As soon as I heard his voice, I'm like, oh, I know who that guy is. So I didn't say anything. And then the people that were coming up, people were introducing, hey, I'm so and so, I'm whatever, and he said, hey, how you doing? And they're like, oh, I know who you are. And David's wife, it was a lot of people because it's instant recognition of it. You know exactly who it is. And I had a ball watching that happen. And he said, I don't hear it. I said, I do. I said, everybody else does too.
Dude, yeah.
But he was I couldn't have picked two better camp neighbors than Billy Schilling and Cam Buckner. They were both good as gold. And I think Cam enjoyed it because he was just hanging out. We talked everything but podcast.
Well, you know what was amazing? Like, if you talk about somebody like Billy Schilling, he had never been around us. He's been in chat for a long time. He'd never been around us. Billy Schilling was just like somebody that we've known for years.
Yeah.
Came up, blended right in. Huh?
I've been
Same way, Michael.
Yeah.
A lot of people, but I'm just saying. And everybody was there to get along and have a good time. There was 100 and some people there, and we all got along like family. It really was like a family reunion. I mean, everybody just came up and did their own thing. Everybody was helping each other out. We didn't have any problems. We didn't have any arguments. We didn't have anybody fussing at each other. You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling y'all what, I can't swear to y'all, but the next time that I'm around Billy Schilling, I may be calling him Uncle Billy. I mean, that's just what man.
I swear, I think the only thing that would have made it better is if I hadn't have walked off whenever the chair got flipped over in the ditch.
I see Pyro. You see Pyro's comment, Bumble's bounce. That might be Joe.
Yeah, because Katie said, speaking of chairs, wasn't one flipped over in a ditch?
It was. Y'all thought he was hurt. I mean, I'm like trying to figure out if he's.
I can't believe I missed it. Y'all got him up before I got there.
Well, it took like 10 minutes. I don't know where you was at. It looked like a total bird. Leaves was flying. I don't know what.
Oh my God. Believe me.
Scared was guiding him. I don't know what happened.
No, Pyro was standing beside me. I didn't know who he was. I'm probably listening to Greg. And I look over and I see his jacket and what was on his jacket. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
I'm like, where are you from? He said, told me where he's from. What do you go by in chat? I already put it together. What do you go by in chat? I gave him a big hug. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, look, I'm just warning anybody, if y'all come to me, you better, if you got some type of deal about not hugging, you probably don't want to come.
No, not.
I think I scared Heather to death.
You did? No, she'll tell you, though, didn't she? She said, Misty said, I'm going to go out in the woods and look around and see what those sounds are. And she looked at Heather and said, you want to go? And she's like, she looking at me. She said, me? You looking at me? She said, yeah. She said, no, I'm not going.
No, I'm saying hugging her. I don't
Oh,
think she
yeah.
knew what to think.
No,
I just grabbed
look.
her up and I'm like, I'm a hugger.
I told her before we got there. I said, and y'all, she's just reserved, and she had more fun than I did.
Yeah.
On the way back, she was talking about, hey, so and so sent me a friend request. Hey, you remember? And this person, and I'm like, oh my god, this was awesome because she actually had a blast. I mean, it was good for all of us.
Well,
Because
y'all,
I told y'all, people in chat don't know, we had a store for almost 30 years on the interstate, and it got shut down in 08 because they're riding the highway. And that's the first time I felt like that environment where everybody was having a good time and talking and cutting up. And Heather said, one time she said, you're so funny. I'm like, what? And we're sitting there under the thing, and she said, you're in your element. I'm like, what? Meeting people and talking to them? She said, yeah. I said, yes. I love it. I love asking questions. I didn't get to ask as many questions about where they were from and their areas and stuff, but we'll get a chance.
Man, we didn't even hardly talk about bookers.
No,
I mean,
no.
For 3-4 days while we were standing around there talking, we were just cutting up and being ourselves, and everybody was talking about normal stuff. We didn't even really talk about Bigfoot.
Y'all, I mean, I'd intended on getting down to the campfire, and like if anybody had any questions for me about some of my encounters and stuff, ones I've seen, even my motorcycle deal, when the one we made peace with them, I was going to go over some of that and never got time to.
What about Neoma's storytelling? That was I liked it. I liked like a dramatic reading or whatever. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool for Neoma to show up.
Well,
see,
I mean, her and Cam told stories around the fire. It's like, y'all, stuff like that, or like Troy Allen talking in front of people. You're never going to see that on YouTube. There are some people that do things just like real quick in person. You're never going to see that stuff on YouTube, y'all.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
I still don't know what you've done, what you promised Jordan to get him to talk in public.
I can't talk about that publicly either.
No doubt.
It was so. I'm not going to say
I had to pay him $200 in stock.
Yeah.
There was so much going on that it made the 4 days seem like it flew by.
Y'all, It was like we wasn't there but about a day and a half.
I know.
No kidding.
Man, I don't know about y'all, but for the past week even, I've been like sad that it was over. Like I just got in the groove being around my people.
Oh.
It was awesome.
Oh, good.
Billy.
I think we should get together and do like us and our families if they want to, and do like a joint podcast. And even if we just do it for a weekend, y'all, that would be an awesome little get together of like a combined show thing that we could do from Greg's. There you go.
Yeah, I might know a place we can do that.
Yeah.
But have we figured out how many states were represented? I know it because it was half of them. I would say closer to half than
there wasn't nothing in south of the Mason-Dixon line that wasn't represented. I don't guess.
No, well,
Oklahoma,
we had
Texas, Arkansas.
We had Texas, Oregon, Arkansas, Utah, Indiana,
Virginia,
Pennsylvania,
North Carolina, Tennessee.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama,
Mississippi,
Florida,
Georgia.
We had a lot.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. Did y'all have that one?
And I said, who else gets a freaking seaplane? Because I'm just going to tell you, I don't care. I'm blown away by that. Like, I'm going to be talking about that forever. So y'all might as well just get the hell over it because we had a plane.
We had a water plane land.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, I had met Jay. I'd met Jay Phelps at Coonbow's Farm several years ago, and I knew he was from North Alabama. I didn't realize him. I got talking to him up at LBL the other day. I was like, where you keep your plane? He said, Coleman, Alabama. I said, at Vinemont? He said, yeah, Vinemont Airport. I'm like, dude, I live like 20 miles from there. He goes, well, I live, like 15 or so miles. He don't live far. He don't live, there's no way he lives over 20, 25 miles from me. And then he flew his plane up there.
Next time you should ride with him, it'd be a quicker.
No.
That was awesome, though. I didn't even know they were coming.
Louisiana. We had Louisiana. We had
Mhm.
Kansas.
Ohio.
We definitely have
Ohio.
Florida. We had Mississippi. We had Missouri.
I'll have to
Illinois.
get with Naomi and see where she is.
Ohio.
In
She said Tennessee and Illinois, representing 2 states, maybe. I can't scroll back up for some reason.
I don't know. Who was from
I just-
Illinois?
I know we had Missouri.
Yeah. Michael Scott won that the grand prize thing. He was
Yeah.
from Missouri.
I wonder where he hung that up, if he carried it home or if he took it to school.
I hope he does a video. The next time he does the video, I hope he shows it.
Michigan.
Thank you, Flat Rock. We feel the same way about you, man. I'm telling you, he is fun to hang out with.
You dadgum right. You gotta love Flat Rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Look, flat, yo.
Yo,
Rock drove all the way up there, and I tried to get him to talk in front of everybody. He said, "I got nothing to say." Flat Rock.
I hope to see Flat Rock down at Mark Green's end of the month. So a couple of weeks.
I know. I'm hoping to make it. We'll see what happens.
I hope Bama BF right there is it maybe makes it to Mark Green's. I want to get to meet her.
There were some people I didn't get to meet that were on y'all show. We were talking about, glad to get to meet y'all, and I'm like, I must have missed them. But we had people didn't you have people that came in and didn't even know what was going on? And like, is this a Bigfoot thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that.
Come on in.
Let me-
Didn't it stay for a little while?
Let me run something by y'all. Do y'all realize that this is people that came from halfway across the globe to come see us? What if we'd had a sign up there at the edge of the paved road said Big
Oh Lord.
Conference?
Oh,
We'd have that whole big hayfield covered up down there.
Yeah.
There-
It'd been
there
like, all welcome. Watch out for Kumbo.
No, yes.
I hit the ditch. I was like, I was coming in, he was coming out, and I gave him room. Boy, the stories are true.
Yeah.
Oh, Kumbo will drive now. He'll drive. Ask Mark Green about following him in the skinny pedal. That's a whole story in and of itself. And Greg House instigated the whole thing with the skinny pedal, and I got blamed for it.
That was priceless, y'all.
don't get stuck in a red light.
Undoubtedly, Misty was back there about to cough up a lung laughing.
Oh, man,
skinny
it was
pedal.
crazy.
Which,
And for y'all that didn't, I'm sure y'all saw Woodwalker show Sunday, but the dogs were more famous than anybody else there.
Yeah.
let me throw something at y'all. I've been gonna say, I didn't know whether to say anything or not. Y'all be thinking about Kumbo, because Sunday his dog Jake, that was nearly 16 years old, he lost his dog. He lost him. The dog passed away. So he's had
his big German Shepherd.
the one he said
gosh.
was named. Yeah, he had got bad, and it was like congestive heart failure and stuff. And he got him to the vet. There wasn't anything they could do for him, and they had to put him down. And that's what the vet told him. He said, there's nothing we can do, and he's suffering real bad. And Kumbo's had a pretty rough time this week with just because, man, he was super attached to that dog.
He was telling stories, even you find out even how much better of a fellow he is, talking about saving those dogs and bringing them back to health and all that, so they get to be like family, that's for sure. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, he like I said, I've talked to him. I hadn't talked to him today, but I talked to him yesterday or last night, probably a couple of hours, and he called me Saturday night, and he told me that Jake wasn't doing good, and he was worried about him. Just he was acting funny and stuff, and he told me he was going to get up and carry him to the vet Sunday morning, and he did. He went to an emergency vet, and they told him it was something that German Shepherd, some type of something that like specific to German Shepherds, and they told him, said he's not long, and he's hurting, suffering, and
that's one thing too. They gave some of us an intro to each other. like that's what Cam did. He come over and said, "I got a dog just like what's her name, Honey." I got so and Peyton and Bama talked about the police dogs for it was just it's everybody loves them, I guess. Well, there's a few that don't, but most people do, and it's just it was good for my dog to be around everybody and be around the other dogs. So
if you're not a dog person or an animal person, I mean, you're probably not going to fit in with all of us. You know what I mean? I mean, you gotta be in some way, shape, or form connected to animals or nature. I mean, we all are.
Yep. And it's I lost a dog, golly, when I was about probably 14 or 15, and I didn't want another one for a long time. It's just I didn't want to go through that again, and it was an accident, but I saw it, and I just I didn't want to get attached to something like that again. So
Yeah.
but there's been, and I haven't had a lot of them, but man, there've been some good ones, the ones I have had. So, but we don't get everybody tearing up here.
No. I
Hard.
brought it up, and I really figured everybody needed to know.
Oh, I hate that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
Well,
but
I got to balance anyway, y'all. But Roger, thanks for having me on for a little bit.
a little bit.
No doubt. I can't. Look, we should have been asleep 4 hours ago.
Y'all wanna? We've been over 2 hours. Y'all wanna go get some sleep? It's 11:12 here. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. It's always fun. Everybody in chat, y'all. Thank y'all for coming to the meet and greet. We hope to see the people that didn't make it next time. And
Yes.
Yes.
And you can tell we're not trying to make anybody feel bad that they weren't there. We're not trying. We just had so much fun that it.
We wish everybody had. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
stories. There's stories like you think about it. I just about got my scared to death there with whatever walked up to the tent. But Heather said, "You realize when it went on back there and you heard them say something about having thermals out, you come out of that tent and left me in there." I was wanting to see if they saw whatever it was,
Yeah.
And Billy, here's how comfortable I was. Billy would be sitting there with us, or heck, several people would come in and sit with us there, and that was fun. And I'd see somebody I hadn't met yet, and they're like, "You just left us." I'd go over and talk to them, but it was so much fun, y'all, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
We'll do a next one.
Oh, yes. Like I said, I'm not opposed to doing 2 a year. Just do one something else.
Hey, quarterly. I mean,
Man, if we do it 2 a year, we can't do nothing else if we do 2 a year.
Dude, you're self-employed. All you got to do is talk to your boss and get time off.
there you
Oh,
go.
is that all I got to do? It takes a lot to put all these things together. Find a place and it takes a lot.
Did
to put
you?
all
Yeah, y'all didn't bring it up a while ago, but Billy Schilling said he had a big field there by his place. You need to drop down and look at it.
Hey, we can go to Billy Schilling. You're up next, man.
Uncle Billy.
He was messaging me and he said, "I didn't hear what you said because you started laughing," but I told him, and he was like, "We might can work something out." So he said he's got to think like acres.
Hey, didn't Kevin Ashby say he had 50 or 60 acres? That's our new best.
Now
I
you
believe
gonna
he
put
did.
Kevin on the spot.
No doubt. Kevin, you got thrown on the bus, brother. The
Ashby.
wheels are spinning.
Ashby, you're our new best friend, man. We're gonna come down there and camp out at your place.
No.
Yeah.
Now, he don't live far from you, does he, Misty?
No, not far at all. I think he said like maybe 30 miles or something.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be 3.5 hours for me that time instead of 10.
Anybody that's
Greg?
got land that they want to, I mean, just like Greg, maybe, Greg, you got a little bit of land.
Yeah, I ain't nowhere to hold a meet and greet, though.
Oh, look, she put Greg
I
on.
mean, we got those people under the bus.
No doubt. Yeah. I'd be afraid somebody get snatched at my place.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's the cookie lady.
Yes.
Hey, I do have something I want to tell
Hey.
y'all. I've had a couple of people send messages on Facebook about wanting some of the stickers that we had at the meet and greet. If you guys are wanting any of the stickers, send me a private message or whatever with your address, and I'll
7,000 acres.
use one. I don't have both of them. I don't know if Spencer's got any left or not of the other
Yeah.
ones.
I probably got 20 or 30 left of the ones like the flag.
Yeah.
Spencer, the Bigfoot Littlefoot said, "How about 7,000 acres?" I wonder where 7,000 acres is. Well, we put a few folks on 7,000 acres.
Wait, where is 7,000 acres? I don't know who you are, but damn, I'd like to talk to you.
I was trying to highlight. I highlighted it once. Now I can't. This thing's glitching on me a little bit.
Yeah, Wendell said Greg's hunting field. Wendell, I wouldn't sleep over in that field for $10,000 myself.
We can all sneak up to Canes,
Oh, yeah.
hide up in the woods.
Not no, but hell to the news.
No, hold on. Let me tell you how shitty Kane is.
Oh God, Kane, brother, you about to catch it?
Stop it.
Oh,
He ain't nobody going to his house. Not unless you're certain people.
That's right. That's right.
And I said, "You want me to send you some teas or some tincture or something like that?" And it was like he and I played off like, "I can give my address out." And I said, "You know
Yes.
what? I thought maybe you had a post office box, but you know."
Oh, my God. Here we go. Shut up.
look, here comes War Criminal in on the end. We talked about you a little bit.
No doubt.
Hey,
Hey,
War Criminal.
he was telling me a story about that weird place where I didn't tell him where it was at, but he said that when the first thing tipped him off that something was going on, he said it was around midnight. He come back in the camp and he heard something in his tent going nuts, and he looked in there. It was a squirrel, and I looked at Wendell. I said, "Have you ever seen a squirrel out at night?" And I knew this story was about to get good.
Hey, did y'all see on the Woodwalker Facebook page today the video of all the damn copperheads at LBL?
No kidding.
You didn't see it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, like trying to crawl in the damn tent. Well, no. I'm glad it was cold. Everybody was jumping about getting cold. I'm proud it was cold.
No.
David was wanting to pet one.
Mm,
Like,
She said, "Luckily, Rodney's seen it."
yeah.
I've been going there for years. I think I've only seen one snake there.
They said this was like a primitive campground, not a group campground.
Dude, I camped out in the middle of the woods there.
Oh, there was a bunch of copperheads.
Boy, they've been people killing them around here like crazy. Turkey season come in. Yeah, snakes is crawling these warmer days. They're crawling like crazy.
Huh.
Yep.
Mm,
Oh, they scare me.
yeah,
That might be hurt myself.
if it ain't got legs on it, I ain't much trusting of it.
You don't
Have you ever
say.
eat it? Have you ever ate one of them?
No,
A
if you
copperhead?
think of the video, the one you was
Not a
flying and
copperhead.
falling out of the pan.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I ain't never been scared to clean nothing. But let me tell you, that was a first, and that'll be a last because I don't have to be starving.
Yeah,
Rattlesnake is good eating.
she knows
Oh.
she did. Misty,
I
thank
couldn't even hardly hold it. I mean, you could feel it just like rolling in your hand and like twisting, and it literally had no head, no skin, no guts, no nothing, and it done that for like it seemed like an hour. I don't know how long. It was
Misty,
horrible.
when you
Wait a minute. I thought somebody was joking earlier. Is this a thing, or y'all messing with me?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
No, that's a real thing.
Oh God, I don't know if I want to know about that or not.
Misty, that going up my staircase in my house, which my living room looks like Wild Kingdom with all the deer heads and the bobcats, but that rattlesnake hide that's going up my steps has got 16 rattles and a button. And
That's a big one.
that thing of rattles. It's bigger. It's as wide as my middle finger and about that much longer. It's massive. And that snake was it was 64 inches with a head and part of the neck cut off. So it And that thing's head, no joke, y'all, it was as big as my fist.
Damn.
I walked up behind it from about 5 feet, and it was coiled up, and it done got mad. And the thing was, y'all, it was a pile of snake, that big around and that high. And that thing's head was drawn back like this, and his tail was back, and it wasn't even rattling. He quit rattling, and it was ready to strike. And I shot it with a .22 pistol right through the top of the head. And when that bullet hit it, that snake, it lunged and struck. It looked like it struck 3.5 feet. It just snapped in the air, and then it just curled up. I took a machete and took a stick, held its head down, and cut its head off.
Oh.
The fangs on that thing was massive. I mean, they looked like they was 2 inches apart. But I put it up on the wall.
I seen it. I seen the skin. You could tell it was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neoma.
I'll tell you what,
I'll remind you.
the width, like where I unrolled it, it's long ways this way, and then the width in the middle was nearly 11 inches around that snake.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, that snake was that big around in the middle. It could have swallowed a baby deer. Look, now it could have ate a big rabbit, no problem.
Hey, we were up on the knob up there at the cemetery, and several of us walked up there, and one of those bald eagles came around, and it either had a fish or a rabbit. I couldn't tell. And
Man,
it landed in the nest. It was bringing food back to the. I guess
Somebody got a picture of it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Abby and Wanda took some pictures of an eagle up there.
where Can Squatch, Scott, took pictures of it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That nest has been there for at least 4 years with those eagles up there at that graveyard.
Yeah. Well, actually, the one that Wanda and Abby took pictures of, I think, was down there at Dover at that fort. I know Abby took some pictures of one down there. It was in a pine.
I seen they went to some cool places.
They did. That child had a ball. And y'all, once again, I just want to thank everybody that was there, because y'all made my little girls like life. They wasn't just week, year, day, or whatever. It was like that child just had the biggest time. And
You can tell.
y'all, and
He
look,
was
I
loving
wish anybody that's got young kids like that would have brought them, because
I know.
I
They
mean,
was completely welcome. Hey, there wasn't.
She
Had
Abby
a
was
few
Aunt
drinks, but
daughter.
nobody carried anything around that wasn't in a cup. Nobody got
look,
shitty or nothing like that. I mean, you'd have never known a lot of people was even sipping on anything.
no,
And we had a good time, and everybody was watching out for Abby, and it'd been the same
Yeah.
way with everybody else's kids if
Yep.
they'd have came.
yeah, I knew when Abby, she'd go from where we was to the fire. Hey, wasn't nobody gonna mess with my child. They wouldn't.
Abby was the safest person in the whole damn camp.
Yeah, she had everybody for a bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Fun.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Peyton was watching out for her.
Yeah,
He
Man. We
I'm
have
so
people.
glad they came.
Me too. Me too.
We had people throwing cornhole. We had people bringing dogs. We had people with their kids. Everybody was cooking. It was like a damn festival or like a fair or something, except for it was supposed to be about Bigfoot, but except for nobody talked about Bigfoot, we were having a good time.
We were
Except
the homeless community for the weekend.
yeah. Hey, we look like the Rainbow Tribe there for a while. Hey, Spencer, here's something that I want you to do since you're Captain Carpenter. You're like Bob the Builder. Here's the deal. Start saving all these decks that you do. Start saving, I don't know how many 4x4s, or if you get some 6x6 blocks, start saving them up where we can have like a big giant Jenga game. You know how good it would be?
I thought he was gonna build a stage. He's gonna play Jenga.
hey, don't kid yourself. After that much of a turnout, next time maybe we do have a stage. Y'all, we had a meet and greet where everybody got along, everybody was friendly, and it was 2 times bigger than most of the Bigfoot conventions or symposiums, whatever you want to call it, something like that. Next time, maybe we do a stage. And like we have like certain times where people come out and like, hey, they're going to go talk at this point. But otherwise, we're just going to have a big ass meet and greet where everybody gets along. We cook great food. Everybody just has a good time. And, you know, if we're in an area where Bigfoot stuff happens, I cannot believe that stuff happened whenever they did controlled burns and all that kind of stuff. There was 100 of us there or a little bit over, and we still had activity. I can't believe that. But, you know, next time, maybe it'll be bigger and better. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I did a couple live, and I don't know if we could do it. Maybe set a camera up, and I just got an email. Yeah, I do have some stickers left. I saw that pop up. I'll on another show, I'm gonna change some things, and we'll do it like I did last time. Just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll send you some. But I'm gonna get a post office box before I do that again. But
guess what? Tonight I went on. Abby had one cookie left that Christy made, and she's like, "Here, Daddy, here's the last cookie we got that Christy made." So I did finally get to eat one, and golly, it was good. Oh my god,
they were. Shut up.
He always makes good cookies.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
what was
God.
I saying?
Speaking of Christy's cookies, I thought I was going to freaking die with Christy. I'm sorry. I can't tell you the story, but you got blamed for something that wasn't you.
Oh,
It's funny.
oh,
Yeah, it's funny.
ask Misty about some of the treats that she made for other people. Anyway,
Hey, look here.
Oh,
Don't
Lord.
be picking on sister there about her brown.
They were delicious, trust me. But Christy and Missy sounds a lot alike, so you kind of got to blame for somebody else's.
No,
that is funny as hell that Christy got blamed for Misty stuff.
yeah.
Oh God!
You have to ask Misty.
If y'all have
I'll
been
tell
there
you.
around
I'll
camp,
message you.
you really appreciate this.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I've been in a funk ever since we got back. I got back here
I know it.
depressed.
I know it.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Can I tell them what you said, Spencer, please?
what? About what? I don't fucking care. Go ahead.
He sent a message. We hadn't been home like 2 days. He was like, "Y'all, I'm missions. I'm lonely."
The bad thing, I felt the same way.
We all did.
Yeah.
It went too fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
It
really?
did.
And the only way I can tell what nights was what is by what I ate at Greg's Booger Wagon.
Yes,
Like, what
that's
night
how,
was that? That was Thursday night. We had to pick the
that's
pot
how I
pile out of
measured it. That's how I measured it too. I was like jambalaya, then the chicken stew.
Yeah.
Hey, look here. I'm telling y'all, and I'm not kidding a damn bit. I hit the dang lotto. I'm gonna buy us about 20,000 acres somewhere, and we're gonna have a commune. We're gonna just set up our own little community and just be happy.
Hey,
Yep.
we can take turns cooking, but I'll say this, guys, we had people volunteer cutting up firewood. We had like Greg and other people cooking food. I mean, Squirrel made fried dandelions, if you can call that food.
I made breakfast every morning for everybody that come over and wanted to eat, other than the dandelions. Don't give me no crap.
He couldn't get up.
No,
He couldn't move. He's sleeping on rocks.
You made other things too that you gave to other people, and that's a whole separate story by itself. Squirt.
Only if they asked for them.
And
Yeah.
Christy got blamed for some of it. Anyway,
Y'all, it is unreal. Look, I'm making white sauce. Anybody goes to Mark Green's, because I'm gonna take and smoke probably about 50 pounds of smoked pork.
did
No,
you say you're making white sauce?
I'm gonna make probably half a gallon of white sauce. Take to Mark Green's.
See,
And
y'all,
you just wait. You just wait, Spencer. You'll see.
I I got to move to Alabama because I got to cure this disease that they got with the white sauce thing.
Y'all, I got the
Oh,
perfect.
it's
When he said that, any of y'all had kids, my kids' age in the mid-20s, early 20s, if you watch the same 7 SpongeBob episodes that I did over and over and over and over, one of these days it's going to be Spencer taking a bite, hiding white sauce, and Greg's going to say, "You like white sauce, don't you, Spencer? You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?"
Dude, I'm
Right. Right.
Especially if you'd come down here and let me smoke, cage and inject a turkey. And we'll do like 6. We can do probably, well, used to what I'd cook on this smoker. Like when I'd have like 50, I'd have 60 or 80 people at my house. And we'd we'd call it lunch. It wasn't like a special occasion, but I would smoke like six turkeys and 20 chickens. But you talking about good. You take and like that smoked turkey, smoked turkey on Texas toast with white sauce, vinegar slaw, and dill. That'll be the best sandwich you'll ever eat in your life.
There were 60 or 80 of y'all that injected turkeys with white sauce.
No, we didn't do it with Cajun Creole seasoning. And then once you smoke them, you slice it and eat smoked turkey sandwiches. But that's what you put on them is you put it on Texas toast, but it's white sauce, slaw, and pickles.
And you got to go to Home Depot and get one of them big mops to put the white sauce on.
Just about, yeah. Yeah. Well, they'll
Right,
have
Chris.
like with the fire department. See, I smoked meat for them, and the last auction they had, I done 80 pounds of pork, and they went through a gallon of white sauce.
Stop it. Whenever
You have to make Chris bring an extra key.
just stop it. Whenever you're talking about like pounds of pork and 80 people in white sauce, it's coming out nasty. I don't care which way you cut it. Everybody is
chicken
going
is
to
awesome.
watch it.
Oh,
It is good.
I didn't want to like it.
Don't take his
I was
side.
dipping my rolls in it.
yeah.
I bet you were dipping something in it. Calm down.
Just regular loaf bread. And
What you drinking? White sauce?
yes.
Yeah.
No. Y'all are gonna get me to say some nasty stuff.
It costs $200, Roger.
Yeah. It's $200. You got to leave it on the nightstand.
Oh. The $200 on the nightstand.
Who was that said? Was talking about the white sauce, and I said, the only
Oh, God.
Spencer's more scared of the white sauce than his dog man. I think somebody else
Dog
had
with
said it.
glasses.
Y'all getting delirious.
Hey, look, I'm just mad. I was going to get Spencer to cook hot dogs using nothing but friction.
No, I'm not falling for any of y'all's traps. And all I got to say is white sauce is not a real barbecue sauce.
Oh, God.
No, it's a chicken
Get
dip.
away from that Mason Dixon line.
Roger's like, y'all, we gotta go.
No, the last time I did this, at the 2-hour mark, the sun was coming up the next time.
No doubt. Look, we had
I don't care.
telethon that night.
You did a 6-hour marathon one time. You can handle this.
Yeah.
Whew, man, that was something else. I think I said something about wrapping it up about 2-hour mark, and then we kept talking. I'm like, you know what? I might not ever get these guys on here again. Let's just roll with it.
Well, here's the thing. Apparently, I've got to give everybody. I've got to measure out because I always just eyeball my chili. I'll write the recipe down in the chicken stew, and
The chicken stew was the shit.
I'll measure out my white sauce, and I'll just post it on Woodwalkers here in a few weeks. White barbecue sauce, yes.
Spencer,
Spencer's just like, you can't help it.
y'all always think it's me cracking up at this shit, and it's not. I'll see one of y'all laughing, and it makes
Yeah, I know.
me chuckle.
No, this is what the 4-5-way text is like right here.
Yeah, this is all day. This is us.
Oh, Lord.
Well,
Yep.
I'm not the one that said I'll measure out my white sauce, but anyway.
Well, I
Well,
promise
you
my
get
white
paid by the milliliters.
sauce, hey, my white sauce will measure out further than your red sauce.
These shows, look, We have to learn to cut off after a certain point because after that it goes all to hell. Do you see that?
Every time.
Yeah, we're good at it.
I laugh so hard I'm sweating. Look, I'm glowing.
Well, in this particular point, it was an hour and 52 minutes.
Yes. No, I'm sorry.
And Spencer said, "I got to go, y'all."
Well,
You,
I
you
said
should
I gotta
already
go
know
for
we're
a bit.
running on the track with square wheels. So
Hey,
pick us back.
Jump
We'll
off.
tell everybody bye.
y'all straighten up. Mr. Green's here.
Did you see Jeff Yarrington's comment? He said this turned into an after-hours show.
That's all I
Yeah.
thought we were doing anyway.
oh, gosh.
Yeah,
Sorry, y'all.
Mark will have to watch this later on where he can laugh.
Oh my gosh, Mark Green just chimed in. We got to watch what we say now. I feel bad. Mark is
Yeah,
watching.
we don't have the guns and knives out yet.
No doubt.
Missy's got some sharp objects probably close by though.
Oh yeah.
Y'all,
Always.
I got some stuff to deal with tomorrow, and y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm trying to figure out when they
screwed us
when
all,
they open.
Roger.
The what? Just go right in.
Uh,
You got it.
I'm sorry if we wrecked your show, Roger. This is
No,
what-
Yeah.
no. Hold on a second. No, y'all crazy. Let's see. Roger heard down under Spencer was in a pit with 6 foot dudes and was about to kneel down. Somebody said, "Spencer, you don't need."
Oh, God.
River.
Oh my god.
The cut down under.
He's getting ragged on from halfway across the world.
Yeah, the other side of the planet. You know.
Damn, that hurt considering I was the first one going. We got to get River here next time.
We do got to get River here, y'all. Don't wait. We may have to get his wife to put him in a box and send him.
Oh.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Well, y'all, I guess we could. If you're ready, Roger, we can let up off here and we'll holler backstage for a second and let you
Well,
go to bed.
Well, if it was Friday night, it'd be, Heather's probably in there. Like
I
need to
know.
put this down for-
I've tried not to laugh, and I try to lean back or cover my mouth when I get to giggling because I know I'll laugh. I can't help it.
The bad thing is contagious.
Oh, y'all crack me up.
Well,
Yep, uh-oh.
measuring white sauce. I mean,
I just heard the door open, so I'm probably in trouble.
Nah.
all right, good night.
Nah. Thank y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Appreciate everybody.
See y'all.
We'll do this again. Spencer,
Bye,
you did a
y'all.
good job for your first time. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Not too bad for your first time, Spencer.
Thank you.
You're squatching all the cherries popped.
All right. See y'all later. I'm going to end it.
Good night.
Bye.